Hello. Welcome again to Hardship Troopers? Because that's what we're calling it now. That's what I've chosen to call it after much deliberation, walking up and down the street by my house over to where I get coffee at the grocery store. I am back, and yeah, we're back with more of this here Iron Man campaign, and I'm trying to remember which the fuck save is mine. This looks wrong. This looks right. 519? Yeah, that's it. Oh, how's everybody doing today? I have a second monitor on my computer now, so I can actually look at chat while I play things by myself now. And we're back here in the anthill, which I remember sort of distinctly people back in the day at 2K, the creators of XCOM. No, well, they did not create XCOM. Julian Gollop and some other people created XCOM. 2K owns Firaxis, the XCOM, the Civilization people who then made XCOM Enemy Unknown and XCOM 2, which is what I'm playing right now. How's everybody doing in chat today? Sounds like it is Friday vibes to people, and I cannot help but agree. I think everybody's pretty tired on this here Friday Eve. This May 5th, 2021. May 20th, 2021. Hello?
Steven, it's Thursday.
What?
Yeah, it's Thursday. It's not Friday.
Is this some Advent propaganda?
Yeah, no, they patched it. Yeah, they patched this week, so they added one more day.
Fuck.
So today's Thursday. Yeah. Yeah, so tomorrow's going to be Friday, is kind of what they've decided, but not crucially not today.
Well, why don't, you know what the best way to handle a Thursday is, Nikki?
By murdering aliens?
Murdering aliens. I was going to say basically anything that you can do to distract yourself from the fact that it is not yet Friday, and I think that murdering aliens through this game is as good a way as any.
Wow, the chat is trying to silence me. Get out of here. You will never silence me. Y'all are all in the pocket of big screen protector.
Right. Yesterday was Friday, apparently, according to the Fanbyte Twitter. Yeah, that's true. Every day is Friday.
For once, I didn't make that tweet.
I used to do those tweets as well. I did think about this week has made me think that like someday in the far off future, because I don't want to overdo the bit, and I want to give people time to get like comfortable and forget.
Sure,
but
where they expect it.
They don't want. Yeah, exactly. I want to wait until everybody is comfortable again, and then just every single day, Monday through Friday itself. No, Monday through Thursday. Say at least it's Friday at like 3:55 p.m. every day.
Yeah, we should do that during the week of E3.
Yeah. All right, nobody fucking
or like
snitch.
at least no one snitch, but like we should do a tweet like that's like at least E3's almost over. I'm actually gonna tweet that right now.
Well, while you do that, I'm gonna launch this mission. Nikki, have you watched any of the previous XCOM stuff that we've done here?
Now let me hit you with this. Every single time that I've tuned into this stream, it's an alien getting shot and ragdolling in the funniest way possible. Because the ragdoll effects in this game, for some reason, do not, in my brain, match the tone overall of this game. Even though that you do have just the Joker here, it doesn't. The way that the aliens ragdoll is very funny in a way that doesn't match the tone of this game.
No,
is that just a Destiny on the right?
Which one? Both of them in different classes.
Oh yeah, I guess they're both Destinies, huh?
We got a warlock and a hunter here. Yeah.
Yeah. No, please. Crucially, they're an Outrider from the video game Outriders.
Outriders.
Which you can catch Thursdays on ABC.
Fuck, I memorized the first couple of lines of Rough Riders Anthem to make an Outriders joke, and then
Forgot him.
And then forgot him, and now I don't have it. I don't have that on hand anymore. I never got a chance.
There's
to
always there's always next week.
There's always next week. That is true. Also, speaking of next week, if we look back to last week, Michael Juker and the Brain were not characters. I made them last night. I recruited some people off stream and made some new OCs for us to mess around with. And this is Michael.
That's just meat, though, right?
That's just meat. They're meat right now because they're a corporal and a squatty. They basically don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
They have no personality. They have no brains. They have nothing. Borderlands here. Corporal Borderlands. I think she's getting close to being good enough to get one. See, these two don't count because she's a story character. And this one gets Magister, but only because she started off as a Templar, so she gets like a nickname by default. But I stand that they are meat until that the game determines they are high enough level to get a nickname.
That's valid. You know what? I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's like how you don't name the squirrel that you save from outside until you know it's not going to pass away in the shoebox you put it in.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Because like if you name the squirrel right after you pick it up off the street and then it dies and it's like, well, I'm the reason that Dale died. But if it's nameless, then you can kind of just move on with your life and feel no remorse.
Right, yeah. I mean, I'd kind of do that anyway. That's the end of that sentence. I just kind of do it anyway.
What kind of, fill up the stomach says you don't name the squirrel until it's baptized. Yeah, that's true. I do a lot of squirrel baptisms, and PETA's knocking on my door right now, which is weird. I don't really understand why.
Yeah, they don't have a warrant.
I'm going to deputize Greg PETA, the CEO of PETA.
I think I built the wrong gun, Nikki.
No. Nah, misclick? From a Fanbyte employee? Nah.
Oh no, I think I'm okay, because these are all mag cannons. Okay. Mag. Okay. So, not only do we have Outrider, we also have Mag, Massive Action Game from the PlayStation 3. So, I think we're good.
Oh, nice. Finally.
Remember Mag?
I do remember Mag.
They wouldn't let me sell my copy to the local game store because they looked online and said these servers are off. You can't get any money for this.
That's tough. That's like when I traded in. I had, but right before Destiny 2 came out, it was the last time I traded a game into GameStop. I had 3 copies of Destiny 1 because there was a long time where like if you would buy Destiny 1, like Destiny 1 DLC, they sold it to you in a box.
Yeah.
So they would give you a copy of Destiny 1 on Blu-ray, and then the code for the DLC would be inside of the box.
Yeah.
So I had like 2 or 3 copies of Destiny 1, and they were worth 25 cents each. But because the GameStop promotion at the time was based on volume of trade-ins, right, I took both of them in, and I ended up getting an extra $50.
Nice. Yeah.
Because of the way that
get a $50 bonus.
Yeah, exactly. So the GameStop guy was like, "This is incredibly smart," and I was like, "Thank you."
I wonder if they would. I did not try GameStop, but maybe they're a little bit more open. That tells me that maybe they would take my copy of Mag.
Of Mag? Yeah, you should try it. You should try tomorrow to go into a GameStop and see if they'll take your copy of Mag for the PlayStation 3. Well, I mean, I can actually just go on the GameStop website because you can go online and see how much the game is worth before you go in now.
Oh, sure. What does it say about Mag?
Let's see, Mag.
Massive Action Game.
Don't get overrun.
0 results for Mag.
Race Tam horses.
Yeah, 0 results.
Oh well, that's sad for Mag.
Life is in your hands.
Bev check.
I have a one of them coffees that I like to drink. I've been getting 2 a day a lot recently because it gives me an excuse to go down the street where I'm nearly killed apparently sometimes. And
that's outside for you, baby.
Yeah, outside will just try to kill you sometimes, huh? I have a large dark chocolate mocha with raspberry and no whip.
Nice.
Yeah. What about you?
Hot or iced?
Hot.
I
don't drink a lot of ice.
I'm the opposite. Most of the bevs I drink are iced. I'm kind of like an iced all the time kind of person.
Even in when it's... well, I suppose it never gets cold there.
Yeah, it doesn't really get cold is the thing, yeah. So, but still, even like, I don't know. Even when it's cold and I still kind of do get... there's something about like drinking a cold liquid that is like, yeah. Baby.
Yeah, it does fire the old endorphins off in a good way.
Yeah, because your body's like, why is this liquid so cold?
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. That's not the temperature it is inside.
It's like how peanut butter and chocolate go together despite being very different flavor profiles. It's like your body is like, well, skin warm, but drink cold?
Yeah. How?
You know, it's the contrasts.
It's the contrast. That's life, isn't it? How much do you think GameStop would charge you right now for a copy of Balan Wonderworld?
Would charge me?
Yeah.
$35.
Oh, that's $35. Okay, for a used copy, you are correct. They would charge you $35. Now, how much money do you think that they would give you for a copy of Balan Wonderland? Wonderworld, sorry. I'm just gonna say for the PlayStation 5.
It's not, you know, Balan Wonderland, Wonderworld. No one is quite sure.
Yeah, no one's quite sure. They would give you $20.
$20?
Yeah.
For Balan Wonderwall.
Yeah, $20 for this PlayStation 5 game.
I wonder, boy, I actually hadn't thought about that because I've never, well, not never, I haven't traded in a game in a long time. Games are $70 now, so did that raise up the floor on selling used games?
Almost. Hey, Steven, I'm going to say almost definitely not.
That's fair.
I'm going to say almost definitely not. Now, here's something interesting. I've gone, and we will talk about the game in a second.
Sure. Yeah, definitely.
I'm just distracted by the GameStop website because I haven't been on here in such a long time. Now how much? Okay. Now this is okay. The video game Return Fire for the PlayStation 1.
On the move.
Yeah.
Released. Let me hold on. PS1.
I've never played.
Let me see. I'm trying to figure out who made it. It was made by 3DO.
Okay, so you know it's quality.
Sorry. Yeah, it was sorry. It was made for the 3DO by a company called Silent Software Incorporated. It was released in 1995 and then ported to PC and the PlayStation in 1996.
Okay.
How much money do you think that GameStop would give you for this video game in the year of our Lord 2021?
How much money they would give me is so much harder than what I think they're going to charge because the numbers make no sense.
Sure, you're right. That's why the game is like this, isn't it?
Shit, you're right. Nice shot there, Brain.
Great job, Brain. By the way, there's no way you're going to get it right. I'm just telling you now. Because it's higher than you think.
$16?
Wrong. It's lower than you think.
Well, you told me it was literally, you said it's higher than you think, and so I went higher intentionally, but also it's like, well, it's still GameStop. They're not going to give me that much. $8?
Yeah, the $7.70.
Fuck yeah.
For a game released in 1998. They will give you a third of the price of Balan Wonderworld. They will give you for the video game Return Fire.
That works out. That math works actually out great because that means that Balan Wonderworld is as good as 3 Return Fire.
3 copies of Return Fire. Now, I did say that was the last one, but this game is so fucking good. We have to do it on a podcast next week. How much money do you think they'll give you for the video game Alice Madness Returns on the PlayStation 3?
$2.50.
$5.50.
Wow!
So Alice Madness Returns is worth 4 Balan Wonderworlds. I'm only going to count money in Balan Wonderworld. Now.
Well,
my base unit of currency is that Balan Wonderworld.
Right. No, that makes perfect sense. Of course, you should base your currency in Balan Wonderworld because it holds this value, you know?
Yeah, it's just like, it's the same as crypto.
Yeah.
I think this is what, I think if people explained crypto as in the games that you have in your DVD sleeve, going up and down for no real reason, I think more people would be on board.
They absolutely would be, yeah.
God. Well, there's a deal right now. If you trade in anything, you'll get an extra 30% towards Resident Evil Village, Mass Effect Legend, which is what they call it on the GameStop website, Metopia, and Biomutant.
Okay. Biomutant, are we allowed to talk about that yet?
Nope.
Okay.
I am not allowed to talk. I can talk about the videos of Biomutant I've seen online.
Yeah, they look kind of cool.
They look kind of cool. Yeah. The combat looks kind of slow, though.
That's
kind of
interesting.
the combat looks kind of slow and laborious sometimes.
Oh,
laborious.
Yeah.
Sometimes. But that's just from the videos that I've watched.
Right. Just from the videos. Nothing
Just
else.
from the videos that I've watched.
Yeah,
just from all 45 minutes
I was
of
gonna
videos.
say that exactly. Fuck. Blackjack Attack does say, like, the Noir Alice Flash game. No, Alice Madness Returns is the sequel to American McGee's Alice. I've never played American McGee's Alice, but I did play and complete Alice Madness Returns for the Xbox 360.
Congrats. Thank you for your service.
I
dude.
could not tell
the
you.
treat.
Here's the thing, Nikki. I can't tell you a fucking thing about that game.
There-
I played front to finish.
There are so many video games that I play on the Xbox 360 that I couldn't fucking tell you a damn thing about them. Hey, I'm gonna be honest. I looked at the screen for the first time in maybe 10 minutes. Zombies, huh?
Oh yeah, zombies are in this one.
Zombies in this one. So what's their deal?
So
Fucking funny. The ragdolls are so good. Anyway, sorry. Why are there
you're
zombies?
Right. You're right. You should say it. In the first XCOM game, which is by which I mean the 10th XCOM game that came out in 2012, the first one in this lineage, there are a bunch of these weird pods that get dropped onto Earth during the initial alien invasion in the opening cutscene of that game.
Right.
They never explained those pods in XCOM 1, and they never explained those pods in the expansion to XCOM 1, and they never explained those pods in XCOM 2. Like 7 years later, when they put out the War of the Chosen expansion, this massive overhaul to the entire XCOM 2 experience, they finally explained those pods, and the pods turn people into zombies.
Damn, I hate that. I hate it when that happens to me.
Yeah, me too. I feel like the only viable... Oh, here, this is one of the pods. It shoots out these tentacles. The tentacles get on people, and then it turns them into zombies.
I would simply not get close to this. Those look like... That's just like all the people in the UNSC when they saw the flood for the first time that walked up to the flood, and they were like, hey, what are these weird bugs?
Yeah,
idiots.
right.
They deserved to go.
Moron.
Like, I would simply not interact with the weird bug thing that came from space.
Why is... Oh,
How much money...
Beetleborg, why?
This Beetleborg is big and bad. What's the fucking deal? How much money do you think they'll give you for a copy of Persona 5 Strikers, which came out 2 months ago for the PlayStation 4?
$12.
$8.80.
Jesus Christ.
Now here's the other side of that coin. How much are they charging for a used copy of the video game Persona 5 Strikers?
$50.
They are charging $38.
All right, that's still too much.
Their margin on that is $30 on every used copy of Persona 5. It's $30.
Come on, Reggie.
Come on, Reggie.
This is beneath the creator of the Bigfoot pizza.
Yeah. He wouldn't step on this for money, you know?
No, he would not. I mean, I will say that that's anime. And when you buy an anime game, you'd have to pay the anime tax, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Okay, now this is going to be the last one. But
Sure.
Mass Effect came out literally last week.
No, Mass Effect came out in 2007.
Okay, let me rephrase that. Mass Effect Legendary Edition, the first time that all 3 Mass Effects have been on one disc at the same time.
Oh, you mean Mass Effect Legend?
No. Oh, yeah, sorry. Mass Effect Legend, which came out on Friday. How much money?
How much money? Which one?
Xbox. Well, actually,
Sorry.
I should do PlayStation instead. Huh?
How much money are they charging, or how much?
Oh,
money are they
how much are they gonna give you?
Go wherever necessary.
$20.
For the PlayStation version
As you
of
direct.
PlayStation
Mass
4.
Effect Legendary Edition, a game that came out 6 days ago
Yeah, less than a week.
for $60 American dollars.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They will give you $25.
I mean, in
It's just
fairness,
that's wild.
in fairness, Reggie is a big fan of the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, and he was just like, "What? They didn't put what? They took the multiplayer out of this one? They took the multiplayer out of Mass Effect 3? My Mass Effect? My Shepard's Mass Effect 3?"
Yeah.
And then
He's gone.
And then he like took a big machete and he just like chopped the price sign in half, and he said like, "Make it
I
work."
was like, it's 25. Damn, that's a lot of guys. Now, why'd that guy go through the window when he could have just gone through the big open door that was next to him?
You know, it's Ambies. Sorry,
It's Jordan.
Hello.
Hi, Jordan. How you doing?
Hi. I'm okay. Well, that's a lie. I'm having a real. I'm having a real frustrating day, and I thought hanging out with my pals might make me feel better. So I
Yeah.
decided to hop on the couch.
That interaction
good.
instantly made me feel better. I'm doing
You wanna-
fine. Well, actually,
Jordan, do you want to play a new fun game that Steven and I have made?
Yeah, what's that?
We haven't named it yet, but the game is how much will GameStop give you for this?
Oh, okay, cool.
no.
So let
here's
me,
the thing. Jordan's gonna be good at this because Jordan's got that goodwill
Yeah.
goblin power.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay,
The thing, I
actually-
guarantee that you will get that Goodwill makes more money off those games than what GameStop will give you for them.
Let me think of a game. Halo 4.
Halo
for the Xbox
4.
360.
When did,
How much
when did
money?
Halo 4 come out? For
Halo
a hint.
4. Sorry, they actually don't accept copies of Halo 4. So the disc version of Halo 5 Guardians, a game that is in Xbox Game Pass
Okay.
and came out in 2000 and I think 15.
And if you adjust it for the Master Chief Collection, is worth about
Yes.
15 cents.
So you're yeah,
Yeah, no, that's I'm saying less than 50 cents.
less than 50 cents.
Yeah.
Steven, are you gonna vote with your 15 cents?
I'm gonna say
Price is Right rules closes without going over.
I'm gonna take a chance then, even if it's Price is Right rules. I'm gonna take a chance and go higher than Jordan. I'm gonna say $2.
That was a good move because it's worth $3.
$3? Wow, really?
Yeah.
$3.
That's way more than I expected.
And now here's I guess
And,
the
and now, hold
question.
on, is that trade-in value or is that
That is
just the money?
trade-in value.
Okay, all right. So
If
I
you
was
wanted
thinking,
cash-
yeah, I was thinking the money that GameStop will give you to leave the store.
if you wanted cash, they'd give you $2.40.
Okay.
At that point, they're just shaving like the
how
60
much is
cents
a
off. That's just
Blu-ray?
like an insult. That's just them saying like "fuck you" because there's
Yeah.
no purpose to it.
No.
Blank Blu-ray disc. Okay. It's got to be a dual layer one, right? Because
Yeah.
the games are 50 gigs.
Yeah, the later Halos definitely were. Because remember, the Xbox 360 came out and they couldn't fit Xbox 360 games on one disc, and that was like a big
Yeah.
thing that the PS3 could do because they had dual layer Blu-ray.
Yeah, I
Blu-ray.
forgot about that. But no, see the high def DVD, HD
Yeah,
DVD.
yeah, it's
DVD?
coming.
You
It's-
just
yeah.
you just got to buy the add-on.
No,
you
it's
just have
more-
to buy the second disc drive for this fucking box.
Yeah, but no, you don't understand, Jordan. The video quality is warmer. You know, it's just on an HD DVD. A Master Chief suit, just the colors are warmer. You know.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, the olive drab and brown really pops in the HD DVD version of the Halo cartoon.
if you wanted to buy a spindle of rewritable Blu-ray discs
Okay.
from Jeff's big website, they would charge you $18 for 10, which means that one Blu-ray disc is worth $1.80
To the consumer.
to the consumer.
Right. To the manufacturer cost of that is probably a 10% or
Less,
whatever of
yes,
that.
yes. But the idea that the video
Is your
game
lady
Halo
wearing a big top
5...
hat?
Yeah, that's Borderlands.
Yeah, that's that's Corporal Borderlands.
Oh, okay, cool. Sorry, go on, Nick.
No, I was just the idea that the video game Halo 5 is worth less than the Blu-ray disc it is printed on is very funny to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is.
Yeah.
That is, oh man. Yeah. It's like.
Well, it's not. Well, that's the trick, right? It's not worth less than that.
Yeah.
Because GameStop is going to turn around and sell it for $8 or $10 or
Yeah. How
however
much did
which
you
is
say
what
how
it's
much it costs?
actually worth.
Sell it for Halo 5. Blackjack Attack is finding out the long-running Pokemon scam that that every person on Earth is running
Wait,
right
what is
now.
that?
They're charging $70 for a used copy of Pokemon Black 2.
Remember when Nintendo made numbered sequels to Pokemon games at one time?
Yeah.
That was
They're
wild.
like, 2. Sorry, we need a little extra time. Is this okay?
We called the games Black and White because it was what was on the computer screen, and then they asked us to make more.
And we said, oh shit, okay, hold on.
So,
No,
I
the
need to-
prices on Pokemon games across the board, GameStop or not, are fucking crazy right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so glad
like-
I have that Mega Drive, or not Mega Drive, whatever it's called, Evercade.
Oh, the EverDrive?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like, even on Goodwill, where things are routinely, like, 30 to 40% lower than what the, like, going eBay rate is, copies of, like, Pokemon Emerald or Sapphire still go for, like, $70 to $100, depending on
Damn,
what condition
that's
they're
wild.
in. And
But I
these
guess
games
it
are,
makes
and they're
sense.
not rare games.
Well, no,
Those games sold tens of millions of copies.
There's really no way to play those though. If you think
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Oh, sure, yeah, no, and
They're gonna charge
you know,
for the access. Yeah.
yeah.
Nothing's powerful enough to kind of recreate the Game Boy Advance. And
No.
Blackjack Attack is saying that Mario Kart DS is $35, and that's a steal because that's the best Mario Kart game.
But that's definitely going to come in some generic GameStop box
Yes.
with like a printout of the label.
Yeah, some guy's just written Pokemon Ruby on
Yeah.
it and spelled it ROOBY. And the cartridge isn't even the right color.
It's RBWY or whatever because he doesn't know because he's 14. First job at GameStop.
Can I lean on both of you for something real quick?
Yes.
I don't know what
please.
Ruby is, so if it's about that, I can't help.
Ruby is about. It's like what if Little Red. I've never seen an episode of Ruby in my life. To be clear, I think it's a show.
Wow, this character's great, Steven.
So this character started off as me trying to make Natalie Flores, and then
Oh wow, that's so mean.
we gave her a top hat, and we decided we had to name her Borderlands.
Wow.
But the she's got the little circular heads all over her because that's Solus from Dragon Age.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
You're right, dang man.
I
So what's your question?
I need to ask. So 2 of my units leveled up in that last mission, and I need to ask you both what abilities we should give them.
Oh, cool.
So, Sergeant.
I'm an expert on unit abilities.
Oh, good, perfect. Because I could really use like a genuine expert, you know, because I'm
Okay,
playing on
great.
Iron Man on the harder difficulty.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Can you spec her out to be like a photographer or like like a woodworker? Like what are
Natalie
our
likes
options
K-pop a lot. Is there anything about that in
Does
here?
like K-pop. Well, okay. The 2 options that we have right now. She has one move already called Shredder, which is that her attacks shred enemy armor. They like break the armor. She can get now an ability called Demolition, which unleash a volley of bullets at your target's cover, significantly damaging or destroying it. Deals no damage to your target. Or yeah, I'm never usually.
Now, why would I want that?
Because
Why would I want to shoot bullets and have them not do anything?
I mean, what they do is they destroy cover, so they make it easier for other characters to hit them.
Do the damage, but in a game where doing damage is never guaranteed,
Right.
Yeah, it
is
seems like a
destroying the
scam.
cover guaranteed?
Destroying the cover is guaranteed, and actually cover is the thing that reduces the chance of hitting in XCOM.
Oh, okay, interesting.
But here's,
Does it
I guess,
work on
my
half
question.
cover?
Does it work on what cover?
Half cover?
Yeah, I think it works on basically everything, because XCOM 2 is actually, like, really destructible environments.
Oh, okay. So if there's like a car or a person or something there,
Yeah, it'll shred through it.
great.
Blow
Now,
up.
does it make sense to have her spec out that way when she seems like she's gonna be bullet? Like, why would we have her do a thing that is only for cover if she has the thing that shreds through armor?
Sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know,
she's got an armor
it seems
thing?
those seem like on opposite ends of the spectrum to me, at least.
Philip the Snowman also says, you know what also destroys cover and does damage? That grenade launcher on her back. So that is a good point. So maybe suppression. Yeah. Okay, what is suppression? Fire a barrage that pins down a target, granting reaction fire against it if it moves and imposing a negative 50 penalty to the target's aim. That just seems better.
That seems good to me.
Jordan,
it just seems better.
Negative 50% to target aim is extremely good.
I think that's the way to do it.
Yeah, I would. If I were respecting this character, that's what I would pick.
And do the bullets? This is, I guess, just like a general question. Is Shredder a passive or an active?
Passive, I think. It's all of her cannon attacks will do it.
So that seems like that was an easy one.
Yeah, so because if it affected her Legends abilities, I probably wouldn't have taken it. But since it affects her canon abilities, I thought that was more useful and kind of interesting in general. It has like a much longer page on Wikipedia.
Bad considering,
so
sometimes I do miss that damn sweater.
So we're just gonna kind of lean into that one because I have a new unit that I just got, and so I decided to give them like a cool new name.
Yeah, Chewbacca. I don't really get it.
It's before your time.
Oh
yeah. Remember this really old movie called Empire Strikes Back?
Oh man. Oh man, that's tough.
How's y'all's day going?
It's going,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my day has been really good.
I'm just tired.
Why are you tired?
Explain your body.
Explain it. Explain yourself. Tired?
No, I'm like we were planning that stream.
Yeah.
So if folks don't know, we're streaming. I mean, I'm literally in the process right now of writing an announcement post, but we are doing a charity stream on Saturday to raise money for the Palestinian Children's Relief Fund from 10 to 10. The schedule is solidifying now, but the announcement post is going to go up in a couple minutes, and by a couple minutes I mean maybe tomorrow morning. But yeah, that's what I've been working on all week. With help from Renata and Steven and the rest of the staff.
Yeah, it's been really
Is
fun.
that Eastern Standard?
Pacific to Pacific.
Yes, yeah. Pacific, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Is what you said? Okay.
Pacific time.
God.
This person needs to be way hairier, Steven.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are our options?
There aren't a lot of great options in XCOM for, like, much hair, like having lots of hair. There's this.
That one's the best one. The blowout one.
The Guile hair?
The Guile hair,
yeah.
Chewbacca is really close to Guile if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I guess there's
they both have a lot of charge moves.
Yeah. I mean, you joke, but maybe Chewbacca was like that in Masters of Terrascasi.
Was he playable in that?
Chewbacca? Yeah, totally.
No.
He had a move where he would shoot his bowcaster into the air, and then like 5 seconds later, the laser fire would come back down to Earth and like land on.
Cool. Awesome. There is some real Borderlands ass stuff in this game.
Oh yeah, a lot of this stuff got added.
Tobacco use. That's an instant. That's an instant M rating.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah,
I think so.
Oh fuck.
That's why Master Chief doesn't smoke anymore.
Right.
Yeah, motherfucker used to be on like a pack and a half a day of Reds. They had to cut that out because they wanted the teen rating.
Steven, for next week, I found a list over at what is this? PC Gamer?
Okay.
I think this is PCGamer.com.
I think it might be pronounced Gamer, but go ahead.
Gamer. Oh, Gamer. Yeah, they've got a lot of really good mods kind of in a list here.
Yeah.
You can get
this game
the Terminator.
Oh, really?
Does it have Nexus mod?
Yeah.
Mods. XCOM 2. Yes, it does.
Okay, cool. Because that's where the real gold is.
Yeah.
Next
You
is
can be
mods.
Master Chief or a
speaking
or
of.
This is pretty close to Chewbacca.
Yeah, Master Chief.
Yeah.
Master Chief underneath that armor, all hair. Just Harry and the Hendersons in there. Voiced by
you can
John
be
Lithgow. Not a lot of people know.
Not a lot of people know that. Yeah. You can have Yami Yugi, the King of Games, as a voice.
Oh, that's really good. See, but I thought about downloading a bunch of mods to this after the first episode that we did. The problem I ran into, and problem is maybe strong, but the thing that I was worried about was breaking my save.
Because you'd
Yeah.
already started it.
And especially since it's on Iron Man.
Yeah,
Especially since
you don't
it's on
wanna-
Iron Man. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is maybe not the mode to be screwing around with mods.
Damn.
So Hardship Troopers, as this series is now called, is going to be more than just XCOM. We're going to play through XCOM first, and then move on to other strategy games over time. And
Yeah, I thought this was going to be a hardship spacebreaker or whatever.
Hard Space Shipbreaker.
Yeah.
No, God, I actually could want to do something with that in the future for sure. But no, this is all about like strategy stuff and tactics. Because those are games I like a lot. I don't know if people know that a lot about me, but I like tactics games. I like my XCOMs. I like my BattleTech. I like my
Shin Megamis.
Yeah. So there's some Shin Megami Tensei tactics games for sure.
Tensei's.
Or no, I'm thinking of Fire Emblems.
Fire
The
Emblem
Fire
also
Emblems.
does it. So what about this sniper lady that we just got?
Do we have a sniper?
Well, we had one. I was making a video package earlier this week that I decided to put on the back burner for reasons. Basically, we've got other stuff going on right now that's more important with the charity stream on Saturday. So I put that video package on the back burner. But I was creating I am creating a whole rich history and a rich lore for all these characters.
Great.
And we had a sniper named correct me or tell me if you've never heard of this person before, Dylan Skiffington in the game.
Not ringing a bell, no.
Yeah, they they've never really asked to be in the limelight or anything like that before, so it would make sense. But they did get killed.
Oh, okay.
But what we determined at the end of the previous episode
Like
was,
in the game.
in the game, yeah.
Okay.
But they didn't really, not even in the game, you see, because what we determined was that was a double agent pretending to be Dylan.
Oh, okay.
And I've decided
Something
to,
very similar just happened recently within the last few years on General Hospital.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I named Drew, who was mixed up in a bunch of mob stuff. And here, let's pick a skill, and then I'll tell you about Drew.
Oh, okay.
On General Hospital.
I already hit the button.
Oh, what'd you pick?
The one that makes them shoot back with their pistol. I thought it'd be cool to have like a pistol sniper.
Okay, yeah, like someone who does it wrong but is really good at it.
Yeah,
and that's their cool thing.
Kind of a drunken master type situation, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So in General Hospital, there's this guy named Drew who's like a mob enforcer guy.
Okay.
And General Hospital being an ABC soap opera, for those who don't know. And Drew was dead for a long time and then came back as a different actor. And that happens.
Sure.
And
yeah, I believe that.
the way that they wrote that into the script was that he wasn't dead, he was just in a really terrible accident. And so after all the reconstructive surgery that he had to have on his face, he looked like a different person.
Oh.
And so that's why there's a different actor. And they never really addressed that the new actor was like 4 inches shorter than the last guy. They just kind of didn't talk about that part. But
You
so
lost
then,
an ankle in there.
yeah, his back maybe got screwed up a little bit. Who knows? But so then new Drew came back and he had all these amnesia problems and all this stuff. But he picked up with his wife and his children and started went back to the mob and started putting his life back together. But then they for whatever reason they brought back the original actor for Drew. And the way that they did that was that Drew came back, and that actor, that Drew number 1, didn't die and had been held in a medically induced coma state for 5 years. by this international crime syndicate that wanted him like out of the picture but needed him for leverage eventually. And in order to send the other Drew back, they kidnapped the guy, brainwashed him, and implanted all of original Drew's memories into his head, and then sent him back to Port Charles and told people that he was Drew. And the like doctor at the hospital who's been helping him with his like amnesia treatments was in on it and like reinforcing the memory implantation technology and stuff.
Why is this all happening in a hospital?
So here's the secret is like people talk about, well, General Hospital is like the name of the show, but things happen just in the town of Port Charles.
Okay.
Around the hospital. 100% of the show isn't in the hospital, like house or something.
Right.
Yeah, General Hospital's off the fucking chain. Like, whack shit happens in that show 24/7. And it's awesome. And it's the only soap that's like that. Like, if you go watch Young and the Restless or whatever, Guiding Light isn't on anymore, but like if you go watch like the CBS soaps, they're like painstakingly normal. The most interesting thing that ever happens on those shows is like, oh, the family patriarch has cancer or something, and everybody's really torn up about it, and like that's the thing that happens that's interesting. Versus General Hospital, the interesting thing that's happening right now is that like Maxie is pregnant with Peter's baby, and Peter ended up being like a psychopath murderer who was raised by this other like international assassin. And she thought that Peter was like different, but he actually is super evil. And so her and her other friend, who's also pregnant but is faking it, are orchestrating this thing for Maxie to run away and have her baby. But then they'll tell everybody that Maxie's baby died in childbirth so that Peter will think that his son is dead and won't try and take custody. And then her friend who's faking the pregnancy will tell everybody that Maxie's baby is her baby, thus validating the fake pregnancy that she's been living through.
Oh, okay.
And and so like that's like by General Hospital standards, that's like mildly interesting. That's like only a little weird. And so like I only watch the show whenever I go visit my parents, and it's always super fun to the episodes are like 32 minutes long on Hulu, but it takes us like an hour and a half to watch one, because every like 3 minutes I'm asking them a question about somebody or who somebody was, because something has like radically changed since the last time I saw it, and then they'll pause and give me this like 6.5 minute explanation of all the buck wild shit that's gone on to that character since the last time I saw the show.
Right.
It's really good. It's a great show.
Top left center says they also had an episode where a witch was shooting lightning from her hands at the hospital, right? Which made me immediately think of Passions.
Oh yeah, Passions was also extremely Passions, and there used to be so many more soap operas than there are now. Passions was on a different network, but it was very paranormal and had like actual witches and werewolves and stuff. Oh
yeah, I remember when my aunt was watching Passions, one of the main characters on that show was like a Pinocchio living doll boy.
Yeah, totally. And ABC had that too, and that was the show Port Charles.
Ah.
But Port Charles and General Hospital, which happened in the same place, were happening concurrently. And Port Charles was the paranormal show, and General Hospital wasn't. And there were characters that existed on both shows, and they just never talked about it. But Port Charles was like a vampire show for a long time.
Wow.
And it had a huge like it was basically like 15 years too soon. And if it had been on the air when like if they had been doing the vampire shit whenever like Twilight was really at its peak, it would have been a lot more popular.
Sure.
Like they laid the groundwork for everything that would happen in like True Blood, and then every CW show for a while. Yeah, but yeah, I don't remember a lady specifically at General Hospital ever shooting a bunch of lightning out of her hands, but that doesn't sound like it wouldn't happen. Hi, Imran.
Yeah, that's a weird sentence to walk into out of context.
What's wrong, Imran? What's wrong with the witch shooting lightning out of her hands at the hospital?
I mean, one, that's just straight up Parasite Eve. Like, that is a scene from Parasite Eve.
Oh,
Not
cool.
wrong, yeah.
Never played that.
Parasite Eve fucking rules. If people haven't played Parasite Eve, Imran, did you ever play like Parasite Eve 2 or The Third Birthday?
I didn't play 2, but I did play Third Birthday. Third Birthday was terrible, and I thought it was terrible because I didn't play 2. Turns out, no, it's just terrible.
Oh, sure. I've never played 2. 2 always looked like, because what I loved about 1 is that it has this incredibly specific vibe to it, where it's like, because Parasite Eve is the original Final Fantasy VII. When they were working,
What?
Yeah, did you not know this?
No, I don't. I know very little about these games.
When they were working on Parasite Eve, on Final Fantasy VII, the original script was supposed to take place in New York City, USA, and
Okay.
Yeah.
star a character that was in the script not named, so all they referred to him as was Hot-Blooded Detective. And in Parasite Eve, you play as a character who, the way that evolved over time was you became a character who is a detective, Aya Brea, whose blood literally heats up when she's in the presence of like Parasite Eve in that game. Like that's how she knows that Parasite Eve is nearby. It's like Harry's scar.
Is that a lady?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's a little
Parasite
bit...
Eve.
So that was the concept of FF7. What that ended up turning into was like, hey, this is a lot like that one book. Like, there's a novel in Japan
Yes.
called Parasite Eve. So they're like, what if we just adapt that as a game?
Yeah, Parasite Eve,
Parasite Eve
is Square Enix adapting a Japanese horror novel into a JRPG.
Cool.
It rules. Mitochondria Eve is actually the name of the villain from that game too, not
Yeah.
Parasite Eve.
Because the whole thing is like, it's literally a biology class of her trying to unleash the power of the mitochondria.
Right. The
And that
powerhouse
gives you
itself.
superpowers. Yeah.
Well, because like the premise of the book is that like, and I think the game is technically a sequel to the book.
Is it? I thought it was an adaptation.
Maybe I think it's like one of those things where it's like kind of both at the same time, like the Dark Tower movie. Which, boy, if we want to talk about some fucked up lore, if anybody ever wants to talk about some fucking Dark Tower at some point, I'm here.
Are you listening to Just King things?
I'm
We'll get there
not. I
eventually.
keep meaning to.
It's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
It's a they're not, aggressive, but they also don't cut Stephen King any slack, which is refreshing in people discussing his work.
I think that one of the problems is I always get confused as to which one is which, because there's 2 Stephen King podcasts going right now, like 2 very popular ones.
Oh, really?
There's Just King Things, and then there's like another one. There's a Fangoria one, and then there's like the Cameron Kunzelman one.
Mm-hmm. One always lies and one always tells the truth.
Right. One adapts Salem's Lot, and one adapts Return to Salem's Lot.
What if we made a podcast about Stephen King things that were like, the hard cutoff limit for the podcast is about 20 minutes, and we call it Short Kings.
I like it.
That's really good. We could do that.
Commander, I appreciate you recruiting new staff.
Throw one more into the podcast pile.
As it stands, we have people still
Yeah, I
waiting
know.
for
That's
us
actually the problem. Nikki, are you still there?
on construction, excavation,
Nikki had to BRB for a while.
Oh, okay.
facility.
Okay. Just checking.
Nikki died.
Oh, well. R.I.P. to Nikki. So we're back in XCOM here, by the way, Imran, if you couldn't tell. Oh, the reason that we went on that entire long tangent, by the way, Jordo, was me talking.
Oh, right,
about,
the sniper.
yeah, the sniper Dylan.
Yeah. Yeah,
Dylan. So Dylan Skiffington, the guy who was called Dylan Skiffington, died in the last episode
Right.
of this game.
But that wasn't really Dylan.
That wasn't Dylan. That was an alien impersonating him. He got plastic surgery done just like in Star Trek, the original series, where the Klingons would get plastic surgery done to look like humans all the time. And we have codenamed that operative Skillin Diffington.
Okay.
I decided that yesterday.
Like Dylan with an S.
Yeah. Like Dylan with a squib, but then you turn the squib into a K, and it becomes Skillin Diffington. And we are on the lookout for the real, true Dylan, with a crack team of XCOM operatives now.
Okay.
And I created new operatives to join us on these missions together. So,
Well, how's it going?
so far pretty good. We did get a little bit sidetracked there when everybody in the base was just talking about this old TV show from the early 2020s, 15 years ago in the XCOM timeline called General Hospital. And
okay.
they did lose some efficiency to that one.
Yeah, that sounds like maybe they should focus more on the task at hand.
No, this is great.
Like, can't have everyone just be all war all the time.
No,
Mhm.
absolutely.
You need a
Like,
morale
no.
officer.
Let's just do
Imran, have you ever watched soap operas?
Not by definition. Not like I say I've watched things that I would say are soap opera like,
Sure.
but never like the daytime soap, Days of Our Lives kind of thing.
Oh, I mean, Imran, you and I share many common traits, I would say, but one common trait is our love of Yakuza.
Yes,
That is a soap opera
that is 100% a soap opera.
with fists.
People get slapped. It's a soap opera.
Yeah, that's true. Ren in the chat says the real Dylan would never be killed by an alien, and that's how I knew immediately that it was a fake Dylan.
Of anti-alien dissidents.
Ren, I would also be easily killed by an alien.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go on.
Like no question.
Oh, reward is I get a corporal. That works.
I've started doing my thing again of every 5 years. I just start watching Unsolved Mysteries again. And
Oh, nice.
one, the music in that show is entirely too creepy.
Yeah.
Right? It works out so well for the show, but it's like if music could give you nightmares, that is that music.
Yeah, that fucking show fucking sucks. Like, not sucks in that it's bad because it rules, but like, and to be clear, we're talking about the old Unsolved Mysteries,
Yes.
not the new one.
The new one, I don't think I hesitate to call it Unsolved Mysteries. Like,
Right.
Obviously, you don't have Robert Stack, so you are missing something there, but you can't like replace Robert Stack with anyone. But like, it's more of a true crime documentary
Yeah.
that I want to hear about. I want to see people dramatically dressed like the Mothman.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
just do like dumb shit like water or standing in front of windows with weird special effects eyes.
Yeah, and then Robert Stack shows up and is like, have you ever looked outside of a window and thought to yourself, wow, that's a Mothman? Like, that's... it was so good. Did you ever watch Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction?
I definitely
Is that the one with what's his name?
Jonathan
With
Frakes.
Riker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that one. We made
Yeah,
it
that
up.
show's great.
That was, I think, that's the actual successor to Unsolved Mysteries.
For sure. Imran, do you know the conceit of that show? Like the structure?
Yeah, they like make something. They tell a true story or a fake story, and then like the next week they really reveal it.
It's at the end of the episode.
Is it the end of the episode? Okay.
Yeah, so they show you like XCOM crashed, huh?
So I'm just loaded up and crashed like it was nothing.
Cool. Well, good thing you're playing on Iron Man. Hopefully the game doesn't think that all of your operatives died.
Yeah, we'll see what
'Cause
happens.
that would suck. That's what happened to my original XCOM save. I was playing on PlayStation 3, which like it was notoriously broken and like hardly sold, and the PlayStation 3 version of that game. And after like 48 hours of that game, I encountered a bug where my guys just couldn't shoot their guns, and like they all died. And that was the end of my XCOM save.
That's really good. That's a fun way for
I'll just die.
Volume warning on that intro, by the way. I always start the game before the stream goes live because when I adjust the volume down in the game, that does not affect the intro like logo treatments where they make the big like noises.
It's always fun when they don't honor that stuff.
Yeah.
Destiny is the same way. Like I play Destiny with the music and the dialogue turned off because I've heard it a million times. And Destiny always loads up when it's loading. We'll play like 3 seconds of the loading screen music and then go like, "Oh shit, right, sorry," and then stop. And it's like, just check it when you load the program. Like, it's got to just be a thing in an INI file somewhere, right? Like,
Yeah.
play music, yes, no.
What Borderlands 1 had this like fairly long intro every time you booted up the game of
Yeah.
content. And like I remember looking up specifically how to go to the INI file to edit that out. Just,
Right.
like it's fine. It's not. I'm not whatever. If you like Claptrap, that's your deal. But I don't need to see it every time. I don't need a 5 to 10 second thing of like showing how funny your character is.
I agree. I also do kind of. I feel like you can't do it as much now because so much of this shit is like always online.
Is that the Joker?
Oh, that's Michael Juker.
Michael Juker. Okay.
Yeah, that's the character.
So is that like a Michael Jackson Joker hybrid?
That's a Michael Rooker Joker hybrid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes just barely more sense.
I loved him in The Killing Joke.
Yeah. Killing Juke.
You thought he was gonna kill you this way, but he killed you this way.
Yeah, he just like he holds up his hands to either side of your face and goes, oh, which way is it coming? Which way is it coming?
But he would say it a lot more like this, because he's Michael Juker. God damn it, boy! I may not be your father, but I sure am your daddy. Whatever he says in that movie.
That one lady does kind of look like a guardian.
Yeah, some of these look. I think it was Nikki who really pointed it out at the beginning. Like the 3 classes that they added to this game via. Oh my god, fucking mechs already, huh? Oh, and I don't have Natalie. Sorry, Borderlands.
What are we? Are we trying to rescue somebody here?
We're trying to blow up that relay, psionic transmitter.
Oh, okay, and that'll net us a new corporal somehow.
Yes, probably because
he's trapped inside. They're using his bio energy to power the relay.
I think that the actual concept of it is that they are resistance members who are waiting for XCOM to prove that XCOM can do shit, and so like, oh, prove to me that you can get some stuff done, and you will.
Oh, weird.
And
okay,
we'll join you.
Interesting.
I have to go back to the Michael Rooker thing.
Yeah.
Because when you said Michael Rooker, my mind did not go to the actual Michael Rooker until you made the impression. It went to Al Roker. And I was like, for a few seconds.
That's real different.
Is it though? Let's think about it. Let's explore that. Also, I really fucked up there because I should have said an Overwatch trap and I totally spaced it. So, oops.
What, like a loot box?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, great, a voice line for Winston. No, so in XCOM 2, at least in War of the Chosen, I forget if it's in the first game. In XCOM 2, though, you get the ability to basically be stealth. And if you do that, you can like set up like put everybody into like reaction fire, and then let somebody shoot from stealth. And then when the enemy freaks out and tries to like move into cover, all of your guys who are overwatching will just instantly shoot on them, and they won't be in cover.
Weird. Achah, missed.
Enemy is still up.
Yeah. That's a shotgun, so like,
Yeah, it's not gonna do a whole lot from that. Remember, it's kind of, I think about this sort of a lot. Like, it's really weird that at some point video games just decided that shotguns are totally ineffectual past a distance of like 8 feet.
Yeah.
Which is like not true to real life at all. Like if you're hunting, oh god, is that lady dead?
Yeah.
Well,
so this is about the worst possible outcome that I could have imagined.
Cool. Okay. It's because of that flamethrower arm that one guy has.
Yeah, the guy has a flamethrower arm, and then first the robot did a thing where it decided to just like destroy all the cover and blow everybody up first.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, it is a great strategy. It did.
Can we try something like that?
Oh, we should. Yeah. Unfortunately, they blew up my my Templar, the starting Templar that you get at the beginning of the game, for free basically as part of the story. And the Templar is kind of like a super character that's supposed to be like a really long-running, powerful guy that joins your team for a long time and like gets really jacked over time.
Yeah, yeah. Like a hard carry.
Like a hard carry, and you only get one at the start, and they kind of just got
dead
killed
now.
in 2 hits. Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
So that's rough for me.
Well, that's disappointing. You seem like you're handling it okay.
Yeah, you know, I've played enough XCOM at this point that I just kind of know to roll with the punches. That you're gonna. I think I talked about this on the first episode of Hardship Troopers, as we've always called it.
As you order.
The thing about XCOM is that you always start off incredibly weak, but the thing is that a lot of people never get to in XCOM because it is so hard going early on. You get so jacked in XCOM eventually that it's like almost impossible to lose at a certain point. So if you can just weather the storm early on, you're not usually too bad off. I will say it's going to be a lot harder to weather the storm without my Templar.
Yeah.
No problem, boss.
The path to victory is littered with bodies at this point.
Yeah, they're meat.
Overwatch.
That's how I described them in the previous episode. I did say that they're all just meat, so...
I mean, to be fair, the Resistance people are like, show us you can do some stuff, and they're right. They are right to wait to join.
Hey,
good point.
Can you guys like level up a little bit first? Like, I don't know, maybe get some like you got the ballistic weapons, huh? I was kind of waiting for plasma weapons. If you could just like grab some of those real quick and then like give me the like good armor. Oh man, and Vipers too.
It just really seems like if I join up with you guys now, I'm gonna die on my first mission. That's all I'm saying. I think you can get where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Not good. Advent troops here.
All rookies get handed red shirts upon signing up.
I mean, literally, I have decked out most of our units with red shirts because I was doing a Fanbyte red and white motif, and I did not think about the influence there. Oops. Let's go kill this snake though. These things can constrict my guys and stun them, but with their big long tongues, and they can poison them, so killing them early is good.
Did you see that one?
Wow, that guy exploded.
Yeah, he's having a bad time. Let's... Oh, actually the Purifier is probably a bad one to do this on. Oh, well, I missed anyway, so it doesn't matter. Oh, that doesn't count as a move, huh? Okay. Or does it? It does, okay. This does not count as a move, though.
Changing position.
So Michael Dorn here is going to get the high ground.
Okay.
He's literally played by Michael Dorn.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Cool. Many of the new characters that were added in War of the Chosen are voiced by Michael Dorn, who played Commander Worf on Star Trek The Next Generation. Marina Sirtis, who played
Counselor
Troy on Star Trek The Next Generation. And John Delancey, who played Q on Star Trek The Next Generation.
Oh, of course.
And Jonathan Frakes, who played Riker on Star Trek The Next Generation.
This was wish fulfillment for whoever this casting director was to just get to meet all these people.
No Patrick Stewart, which is always interesting.
Yeah, he'll do anything.
Yeah, he's in so much.
It must have been. I bet it was like you can have one Patrick Stewart, or you can have these 5 other actors.
Yeah.
Like that's what our budget allows for.
Sure.
Because dude's got like he'll take any part, but he's got to be expensive.
Yeah.
Him and Patrick Warburton are like, we'll just voice whatever. Like if you draw a drawing of a horse, I will voice that horse.
That is the classic British stage theater.
God, really?
Mentality is take the part.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
I mean, I think that
You're
was
an
why,
actor. Take the part.
That's why there were so many British actors in Star Wars, the original Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. So is this bad news? These alien guys here?
Yeah. So these aliens are like the bad guys.
Did you be standing in front of an open door like that? Is that cool?
No. That's a huge mistake actually on my part. Yeah. You see what I've done here, Jordan, is fuck up.
Oh, okay, cool. Is that that's a military term?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's kind of like it originates in World War II as kind of a thing that pilots used to say to each other.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, the
Did you grappling hook through that wall?
Through the hole in the wall. See, there's a
okay.
a hole in the wall.
So I go ahead.
In the chat, Philip the Snowman points out something I didn't notice, is that all these other aliens are wearing clothes, except for those, like, pink ones.
The sectoids?
They are naked.
They are sure naked.
Orders confirmed. Moving out.
It's cultural.
Maybe they're just weird. Maybe it's like, HR has talked to them. And
Those are the creepy perv aliens. Yeah. And, like, it's always been a problem. It's not just that they're aliens, they're just the gross ones. Oh no!
Oh my god.
Oh no, Steven.
Tried to anticipate what you were screaming about. Steven was like, oh no. This
Now
is
that
bad.
bad, right? You don't want that.
Hey, welcome
The
back,
thing that
Nikki.
just happened. Yeah,
Um.
I went to go walk the dog. I didn't pass away.
Oh, okay, good. Was that your
that's
whole party
good.
except for that one guy?
No, there's still 2 guys. One of them has 1 health bar.
Can
you
I
just
introduce
turn Iron
you
Man
to
off for
Alt
the end of-
F4?
Yeah. How do we get out of this? What happens if you quit the desktop? Do you just reload the mission?
It was a cool sword strike, to be fair.
It was very cool. If I was gonna go out in a blaze of glory, cutting a guy with a sword so that he exploded is way up on that list.
Yeah.
We're just gonna see what happens. We're just gonna see what happens on Iron Man in XCOM.
Is it saving after every turn?
I think
is
it
it
saves
gonna
after every turn.
Yes.
Fuck.
I believe so.
This is.
Well,
Hey Nikki, how you doing?
good. The dog was outside, and she loved it. She stepped in a bunch of mud, and then I just had to wipe her paws off, and then she got
that's their
fucking
favorite
mad at
thing.
me.
Yeah.
Like I was the reason that she got the mud on her paws, even though I was trying to wipe it off.
She was mad about the mud.
Yeah, she doesn't like it when anything touches her feet.
Interesting.
She has just like an anti-foot fetish
I mean, same.
for herself. Yeah. She's like, and she sometimes steps on sticky leaves that grow out on trees outside.
Mm-hmm. You got sticky
And,
trees.
Yeah, there's like sticky leaf trees outside of our apartment. She refuses to look down to avoid them, so she will just step right onto them, and then she will complain and moan when she steps on them. And it's like, well, if you just look down, then you wouldn't step on them, you know?
Just watch where you're going.
Just
Small
watch
dog.
where you're going. Yeah.
That
So
just
so
your
close
guys
to
are
the
still
ground.
dead, huh?
yeah.
Yeah, it didn't do jack shit for me.
How many guys do you have left?
2, and actually, it's more like 75% of a guy because both of them are at like 1 health.
Can you heal that one guy?
I already used my only med pack.
Only had the one med pack, huh?
I think so. Yeah.
Well,
Oh, there's a whole other robot.
Yeah,
there's-
that's-
they introduced a second one. Yeah.
can you take the L? Is there a take the L button?
There are usually actually ways to sort of.
Can you abandon the mission? Can you retreat?
Yeah, there usually is like a retreat function in some way. If you like don't accomplish your goal, you can at least get out with your people intact.
Or like the biggest parts of your people
Right.
that you can find around?
On account of the explosion.
Yeah.
Well, that guy got. That's good. Halfway there.
One of the big problems that I'm running into right here is who? Okay, is he
Can't
doing this-
move, right?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he this one can't move or the other one can't move.
I
don't know
think
how to tell.
I think the guy you've got selected right now cannot move because of the red arrow on your status bar.
Yeah.
Right?
Might be.
It looks like he's aiming directly
Suppression.
at you.
Yep. Negative 30
Yeah.
and will be shot if attempting to move. Yep.
Okay.
So I literally can't win here because I need to get to this thing. I mean, I could try to get Pray Tell Mox on top of that thing, hope that the shot misses me, and then press this button.
If you get
That-
shot once, you're dead.
Yeah.
So-
That is not. Luck is never on your side in XCOM.
But I lose the mission if I don't press that button.
Do you have to press it this turn?
Yeah, it's on a time. Well, nope. So there
That's
are
it.
things I can do. I can shoot these things to extend my timer, but it's out of range.
Okay. If we don't hit that button, their deaths will have meant nothing.
Yeah, and I think he's gonna die next
But-
turn anyway because he's only got 1 health, and all these guys are everywhere.
Right.
Okay.
Can you run past that guy without him just like pushing you over?
This guy won't do anything like that. Yeah, I don't think
That
he's
guy?
a watch or anything.
I think you should try it, but I also don't think it'll work.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too. I think you're definitely gonna die, but you don't have it. You don't have a better option.
Ah! Oh well, he didn't get a chance
Oh.
to. He didn't get the option to take a turn and press the button anyway, even though that's a free action. So, never mind.
Wait, you didn't get to press the button?
I didn't get to press the button. Didn't
Why
do
not?
jack fucking shit.
You moved out of your movement range.
Yeah, so it was all meaningless.
Oh, did he just resurrect all the dead bad guys?
He made a zombie version of one of my guys, and
okay.
it is one of his guys. He made a zombie.
Okay, well the Joker's dead.
So sort of everybody is dead.
We've lost contact with the squad, Commander.
Okay, this is fine.
So what actually happened is that you just ran out of cover directly in front of the giant robot and then stopped.
The giant robot, the alien, and the little guy. Yeah, basically all of them all at the same time. I kind of ran in front of them, got shot to death, and then died and then lost.
Okay,
The
how
important
far?
thing is that one thing worked, even though it didn't work in the long run.
No, it was
you
completely
did
meaningless right
dodge
now.
the shot, which was impressive.
That was cool.
The problem is that I lost 4 of my most important units in the game.
Yeah.
I lost 3 of my most important units in the game. One of them, Michael Juker, was fun, but he didn't actually matter that much.
Is this Natalie's ultimate bullying? Not going on a mission and everyone else dying.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Stopping the alien threat.
Koichi says he no longer lives in a society.
Well, we're gonna need some bodies here real quick. Whoops. Not enough supplies to recruit new bodies. Okay, so that's... No, this is fine. We're fine. We can recover. The Chosen double their efforts to hunt the commander seeking to capture XCOM soldiers at every opportunity. This is fine. We can recover.
Can we go
keep saying
rerun
that.
some old missions to level up?
No,
Can we go grind some aliens?
XCOM 2 does not... That was one of the big things that was like actually really controversial when XCOM 2 happened, is that you can't do that in XCOM 2. Your missions, you're reactive because you're like a little resistance force.
You're just a little guy running around?
Yeah, it's like Half-Life 2, where it's like the aliens have taken over like Earth,
Right.
and stuff, and they are in charge of the government and whatnot. So you are in a little helicopter now, like a
There
little
were
shield
some
helicarrier.
casualties during that last covert action, Commander. But our troops will all recover after some well-earned rest.
Okay, this is fine. We can do this. We can recover.
Commander,
Give me
we've
the
got local
scientist.
resistance forces waiting to make contact.
Okay,
But
accept.
we'll have to make the first move.
Investigate.
Avenger plotting
We need
new
supplies
course.
because we need people.
Yeah.
I have made a
Children,
number
the
of
most important
interesting
resource.
discoveries.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's renewable. That's the other good thing about kids.
What, if any, advantage the Advent hybrid soldier
Oh, is that the
performance
little guy
allows to
from
provide?
Portal 2?
Testing
Yeah,
their
Wheatley is in this
visual
one, and you
No
can
doubt
kind of throw them
will
at your
be
enemies, so it works
I
out
agree.
great.
That is
That's
an
cool.
important task.
Everybody wins.
Unfortunately, Borderlands, boy, I'm just really... Okay, I got a replacement ranger to make up for LB, who is dead now. But it wasn't really LB, that was actually an alien, that was
Pretending
an
to
alien,
be LP.
pretending to be LB is the actual good thing there, so that worked out. Oh,
DL.
wait, we can take an engineer off of the resistance ring because I'm not doing any actions right now. Let's put them in the infirmary to speed up the healing of Natalie.
Sorry, so is the other option if you don't put them in the infirmary that you're just kind of like hang out in the commissary for a while. Those wounds will close up.
Yeah, they'll just kind of close
Probably.
up on their own eventually.
Eat a
Those
sandwich.
alien bullet holes. Yeah,
sandwich.
just eat this sandwich, drink some of this soup.
Protein. So the thing about protein, not a lot of people know this. The reason that they encourage you to eat protein is because the protein fills in your bullet wounds. It goes through your veins and then fills up in all the gaps.
It's dark.
I see.
Dank, and
That makes
it's
sense.
mostly metal. This ship isn't all that different from the old base.
All right, we got a replacement body. Let's do it to it. Now we gotta wait for a bad thing to happen.
Now operational.
We got
I
some
mean,
power
that's
in
never
here.
far away.
What's that?
Bad things happening is never far away.
Right. So it's good for us actually when bad things happen. Make you think.
I mean, except for all the bad things that just happened.
Well, other than that, yeah.
Yeah.
But only other than that. Okay, let's get the alien alloys. You've been struck by.
Alien machinery.
I mean, they technically are smooth criminals. Like, they are very smooth, and they are
yeah.
They're like oily.
God, they must be so fast at swimming.
Do you think if like Michael Phelps covered himself in oil, he would move faster?
So a
In
funny
water or
thing,
just in general?
Generally, yes, in
air.
water, no.
That's the weird part.
Well, wait,
Yeah,
hold
I
on,
mean-
because oil repels water, right?
Yeah.
But so will that actually make him less frictiony?
I assume that would slow him down.
But if his body isn't coming into contact with the water at all, then the water can't cause friction on his body and slow him down.
Damn. Okay, so we've
That's
got a crack team here right now. We've
Yeah.
got Dragonova, who is Marina Sirtis, the last surviving member of the Star Trek crew that the game
Okay.
gave me. We've got Squatty Tanahunky, who I made yesterday night. We've got Merritt. We've got Chewy Baka. I might switch out Chewy Baka if Natalie is open. She's not yet. Okay. Oh, no, let's get Jacqueline Martin. Let's, yep, let's do that. Let's give him some nanoscale vest for the armor. All right, this one will win. This one will win, and this is going to be the start of our comeback.
Yeah, this time don't get all blown up, all of you, at the same time at once.
M. Poppin says, I love the Fallout Shelter part. Yeah, like the Fallout Shelter thing is basically based on the anthill from the XCOM games, and I've always loved the anthill, or the ant farm.
Farm.
The alien ant.
But
Yeah.
they're humans. God.
One of our contacts in the Resistance says Advent peacekeepers have
I've never heard one of their songs that was not the cover of Smooth Criminal.
They have other music?
I don't
Apparently.
think
so.
so. I think they made that one song and were like, we're done.
Or
We did it.
it's fine that we have to give 50% of it to Michael's estate because we're gonna make $1 billion on it anyway.
Right. That's just it.
It's
Probably
so
did
weird.
make a lot of money off of that.
Yeah, that song was everywhere. It's so weird to like discover a band because they made a really good cover and then like
Affirmative. Covering now.
hear the. Have y'all had that experience of like hearing their real music and then being like really underwhelmed
Yeah.
by it?
Yes.
And it's like, oh, this is a good cover, but actually I just like this song.
Save Ferris is the definition of that.
Oh, really? What
Like-
cover did they do?
Come On Eileen is probably
Oh,
the best
yeah, of
version of
course.
Come On Eileen.
Of course, yeah, no,
Everything else not nearly as good.
that's true. That song that they did with Real Big Fish was good.
Yeah.
But yeah, like not nearly as good as like Come On Eileen, which is, a textbook on that's the book on how to write a pop song, right?
Yeah.
What do you think the first two Alien Ant Farm albums are called?
Self-titled and then Alien Ant Farm
2.
2. Yeah.
They're Anthology and Truant. Do you get it? But the ant in both of them is capitalized.
Oh. Okay, I get it.
Now, can I interest you in
Oh,
one
Shrek
final
killed that guy.
thing? Now, speaking of Shrek, can you guess the record label to which Alien Ant signed?
Smash Mouth.
Speaking of Shrek, is like it implies it's Smash Mouth. Right?
It's DreamWorks. They're on the DreamWorks record label.
That's
Yeah.
I didn't know DreamWorks had a record label.
Me neither.
I guess like
Anyway.
Sony has a record label, right? So it's like kind of everybody has a record label.
Yeah, Shrek
Probably.
made Alien Ant Farm. Without
Yeah,
Alien Ant
confirmed.
Farm, we don't have Shrek.
Without Shrek,
True.
we don't have Alien Ant Farm. And it's funny because a lot of people think that Shrek came out after Alien Ant Farm, but no.
No, it's the other way around.
Twen-
I had a
happy
dream.
birthday, Shrek, by the way.
Happy birthday, Shrek. I had a
Is that why
dream.
there's been Shrek discourse lately? Is it Shrek-
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the 20th anniversary of Shrek. Also,
I
it's
had a
been
dream
20
earlier
years
th-
since Shrek.
Since Shrek. I had a dream earlier this week that I convinced a friend of mine that the Shrek movies came out in a different order in Canada. I don't
But they're sequential. Like things happen in those movies.
They're also literally numbered.
right? I don't remember anything else about the dream or what the context was, but I woke up feeling bad because I had like fooled somebody that I care about.
You gaslit someone about Shrek.
Yeah.
God.
Does that ever happen to y'all? Yeah, you like do something in a dream and then
Yes,
suffer real world
almost
emotional
every day.
consequences.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Almost
yeah, yeah,
every
yeah.
day.
Every dream I've ever
Sucks.
Yeah, it's tough.
The human brain is stupid as hell.
Yeah.
Figure out what's real and fake, dumbass. I didn't lie about Shrek to my friend.
I would never lie about
Unless you
Shrek.
did.
In like 5 years, a friend's gonna contact you and be like, "I'm glad we got over the Shrek drama."
I'm glad we squashed that beef. Like Shrek squashed all those slugs he used as toothpaste. What the fucking shit?
That's
These
tough.
guys look like.
Oh my god, Merit.
They should be Mass Effect.
It's
people.
not Merit. That's fake Merit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's that fake Merit?
Yeah, it was obviously an alien spy.
Yeah, a real Merit would never get killed by an alien.
Real Merit would never get killed by an alien. Merit plays Destiny. She kills aliens better than most of us.
Yeah.
Now, how did that robot miss that person with the flamethrower
Like, don't ask questions.
when they hit them directly?
Oh, I forgot there's a Chosen here too.
Ah, damn. Imran, you're right. They look like whatever Rex is, but like like an initial pass. Like the first pass of Rex. Yeah, the Krogans. The note was add more Jaggies.
Oh yeah, that's a smooth Krogan if I've ever seen one. That Krogan's way too smooth.
Alien Ant Farm will come back with smooth Krogan.
The label's like, look, it's not enough syllables. It doesn't fit the syncopation of the song at all. And Mr. Farm, the lead singer.
Yeah, there's three people in the band. It's Alien, Ant, and Farm.
Yeah, it's like Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, but Alien and Farm.
There was a monkey in that music video for some reason.
Hey, you were gonna say that there was a monkey in Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. That was Neil Young. That's why his hair looked like that, actually. Ticket sales went way down whenever Neil Young went solo because people just wanted to see a monkey.
Yeah.
Crosby, Stills, and Nash is one of those things where I became familiar with it because of The Simpsons long before I ever actually heard one of their songs.
Oh, is
So,
that
like,
a
when
Simpsons bit?
It was a bit where Lionel Hutz was like trying to stay sober, so he would call David Crosby about it.
That's a good joke.
And like, I didn't understand the joke. I just knew it was funny. And then like later, it was like, oh, these guys are musicians now. I kind of get it.
Ah, yeah.
Damn.
That's good.
Speaking of David Crosby, got an album coming out this week.
What, really?
Yeah.
What's up with man? Hey, I listened to that new Offspring album.
They still make music?
Yeah, an Offspring album came out like a month ago.
Damn. How was it?
It's bad.
Oh.
It's like the first track on it is like an okay Offspring song. It's still that music. Like, I haven't listened to anything between like Smash and this album. So I don't know if this is like they never wrote different music or if this is like a return to form for them. But
that's why Sega can't make a new Crazy Taxi, because Offspring has not made a good album.
Yeah.
Oh. That quest marker must be checked off before Sega's allowed to get back in the lab.
It's in the Mr. Taxi, who invented the first game. In his will, it says that they can only make those whenever Offspring puts out a good album.
Yeah. And the legal team hates it because good is arbitrary, right?
Yeah, so like it's not, but it's in the will, so it's binding.
Yeah.
Steven, how's this going over here?
Bad.
Really?
This is supposed to be the easy missions where you kind of like get your footing back, and this is bad. Everything is bad.
That alien assassin lady seems real good.
Yeah, there's a nemesis system in this game, and she is one of the nemesis.
Have we considered giving up, like surrendering to the aliens?
Well, I am
That
thinking.
was XCOM 1.
I am thinking, Jordan. Yeah, Jordan. You know, I am thinking that. So it's a good thing that I told myself that this series was going to be about more than XCOM, because I think our first XCOM campaign here is going to be really short-lived. I think we might have to find a different game to play.
Sometimes the aliens
perhaps
win.
tonight.
Like 3 streams is roughly what I expected, honestly.
Really?
Like, Iron Man, yeah.
I've never performed this badly in XCOM before. That's what's wild to me.
But that's the streamer's curse, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Grenade out.
I've never had a XCOM campaign go in a direction where I wasn't able to, like, recover, you know?
Yeah.
you shoot a grenade at those civilians?
I've shot a grenade over those civilians. Well, one of them wasn't even a civilian.
Okay, well, first of all, define at, right? At is broad. Now, is that person okay?
That's Clayface. You can't fool me. I've seen Batman. I know what's happening here.
That person got so tall.
I think I'm just gonna die again. Is
Like
the
all
thing.
your
Like a
guys?
strategy, or
I think my no, it's not my sort of like first plan. You know how they say that no plan survives first contact with the enemy. My first plan was to die, and this time I think it actually did kind of work out in my favor.
The idea of someone asking someone else what the play is here, and then they'll just say, "I'll just die," I think.
Waiting to be subjugated. I had expected more from the great XCOM, but the captive I now leave with will perhaps tell me otherwise.
The Chosen captured one of our soldiers, Commander. We should reach out to our contacts in the Resistance to work out a rescue plan.
Oh, sorry.
this is basically the XCOM equivalent of like the "this is fine" dog. Just fire all around you,
Yeah, there's
everything melting.
This literally couldn't be going any worse. I mean, honestly, there is a certain part of me that, like, because when they get kidnapped like that, what happens is that you have to go do a rescue mission to go save them. And that is sort of preferable to them just straight up dying, because it means that they're not, like, gone. I can go get them back. The problem is that they're one of my best units, and most of my other best units have died. And so, who am I going to go get them back with is kind of the question. I also
have those like placeholder robots like the first game had?
Yeah, you can, but you have to research them first.
They were never good anyway.
Yeah, they're meant to be placeholders, like you said.
I love how weak the aliens are to swords.
Yeah.
Like, even they've got to be kind of surprised by that. Like, we did not think this part through.
If they had more jaggies on the body, they would be able to defend the swords better.
And this guy's really wet.
What did he just do?
What did he do? How did he get up there? What the fuck? What is happening?
What happened there?
No, this is fine.
I'm extremely confused at that series of events.
Oh no, Hiroshi. Hiroshi-san.
Hiroshi Hakatani, no! I just made you! I just made you!
It's still moving.
Poor Hiroshi-kun. He got killed by an inexplicable series of events that no one would believe. Oh, that guy's dead.
Oh, that guy's dead. Many people in this military are bad at their jobs. That guy was like 8 feet away and he missed. There he goes. You know what these look like? They look like the freaks in Crackdown 2.
Yeah,
All XCOM operatives.
that's a bad video game.
Nah, Crackdown 2 is the best game ever made. What are you talking
Taken prisoner by the Chosen.
All right, well,
Pick the orbs up. Well, Steven, do you want to play Crackdown 2 instead?
there are troopers in that, right?
Yeah. Sometimes when you run them over by accident, the voice of the agency guy goes, "That peacekeeper had a wife and family. Maybe you'll be the one to break the bad news to him."
Do you ever get to do that?
Was that in Crackdown 2 or
No,
1?
that was in Crackdown 2.
Weren't you the bad guys at the end of 1, though?
Yeah,
Yeah, at the end of Crackdown 2, though, it's revealed that all of the agents that were bad guys got turned into zombies because the agency fucked up a science experiment,
Oh.
and they're the reason that everybody's zombies.
Okay.
So then, as you're fighting up and blowing up the agency tower, then you learn that the agency was the bad guy the whole time. And then in Crackdown 3, they don't talk about it at all.
yeah. They just kind of move past it. I think I interviewed them asking like, "Hey, what's the deal with like? Are you gonna pick up from where Crackdown 1 like finished?" And like, "No, we're just gonna ignore it." I'm like, all right, cool.
That's funny. That is pretty funny.
So what are you gonna do, Steven?
What I've decided to do is give up It's kind of step one. You know how no plan survives first contact with the enemy? My first plan was to play XCOM 2, War of the Chosen. My second plan was to lose. Plan C is loading up right now.
Okay.
I love that this ended with Natalie being the only survivor.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the infirmary,
fun.
letting everybody else die.
Yeah, no, that's real. That's real.
We could play more of that fun GameStop game. Imran, you weren't here when we started playing it, so now you get to play. We still have to fucking brand this game, but this game is called How Much Will GameStop Give You for This Video Game?
Yeah, if you want to kill some time for a second while I get this loaded up,
Yeah.
go ahead.
So I'm gonna attack in the Power of Juju
For what?
for the PlayStation 2. No, just
Okay.
kidding. They won't let you sell it. Tie the
And now,
Taz.
Imran, this is trade-in value, not walk out the door with cash
Yeah.
value.
Yeah, okay.
Fuck, they won't take Tie the Tasmanian Tiger either.
They won't take anything before 360 at this point, I don't think.
Oh man.
Really?
So they won't take that game for the Nintendo GameCube that came with the microphone where you used to yell at that ball.
What?
Odama?
Odama, yeah.
They will not.
Damn it. What's the point?
Thanks, Odama.
Let's see. What about
Fuzzy Tipsy says, play GameStop game with XCOM 2 War of the Chosen.
Okay, yeah.
I would say XCOM 2 War of the Chosen, I'm going to say $7.
$7. Anybody else?
For War of the Chosen,
Yes.
they'll give you $4.50 for that trade-in value.
Steven. All right, so
$6.
$6. Okay. So the XCOM 2. So they won't let you sell the PlayStation 4 version of the collection. They'll only let you sell the PlayStation or the Xbox version of the collection. And they will give you $5 for it. So even though it says over $100 in value right on the fucking box. Now what's this, Steven?
This is a game called Battletech that came out in 2018, except I've modded it.
Okay. So Thomas the Tank Engine's in here?
Thomas the Tank Engine is in here. The one of the mechs is now just Lady Dimitrescu from Resident Evil Village. Her hat gets bigger.
The hat get bigger.
She's the same size.
It's the same size.
I wish we could have sent that along with the other mod memes for that interview.
Yeah.
LB's in chat. Hey, LB.
Hi, LB.
That's a good one to
LB
show.
things went bad.
LV says that it would make Michael Phelps faster.
We did get some responses to that tweet that were like actual answers of aquatic animals do often create their own oils to swim faster.
I hate that.
Like otters and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I was right.
You were right. Congrats.
Thank you.
The problem with the mods...
Mega Man Battletech works.
Oh my god, the game
said that?
Twitch that was me. The game Twitch automatically changed the title though.
The Mega Man Battle Network. Good job. If it doesn't find the thing, it just goes closest.
Oh, sure. LB, what you missed was everything going incredibly bad. Like
Everyone died.
Everyone died, and then I did a second mission where I was going to fix everything, and then everyone died in that one, and then I did a third mission where everybody was going to fix it, and then they all died. Now I'm playing Battletech. Arguably a more difficult game with the mods that I have installed.
Smash cut to every mech just exploding on the battlefield.
Yeah.
Steven's like, what happened?
There's kind of 3 major mod suites for Battletech right now.
Please tell me you put Master Chief in the game.
So there are some. So this mod package what I have basically installed is like a mod suite that's just like somebody put together like a ton of different mods from a ton of different sources, and made it into like one cohesive package. And some of the character profiles that they put into this game are literally just like character profile pictures from other video games that they recolored and hope that nobody would notice.
Some of these look like Titanfalls.
Yeah, some of them look like Titanfalls. Some of them I know are from Shadowrun.
I thought you scrolled by something that looks like Mr. Bean.
No,
and
no,
I'm
no,
waiting for you
no,
to
no.
Scroll by it again.
Just
I think that is just Mr. Bean.
Imran.
Underneath the chat there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, chat is covering him. I can move that.
Is Doom Guy in here?
I don't think so.
What's the point? I'm leaving.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Zednot is right. I want to be Master Chief piloting a larger Master Chief.
Yeah. Okay.
If 343 doesn't let me do that in Halo Infinite, I'm returning it. Canceling my Game Pass subscription.
I mean, it's worthless to you at that point.
Yeah. They should let you paint the Mantis in Halo Infinite. You think they're going to bring the Mantis from Halo 4 back?
I don't remember the Mantis.
Mantis was a mech. You got in it, and it was really slow, and the gun was bad, and the rocket launcher was also bad, and it felt really bad to move, and it couldn't jump, but it did have a very satisfying stomp. That was the only fun part about it.
Oh, that thing. Yeah.
Are we building a guy?
Yeah, I'm making a unit here. Paula Gandhi. Paula Gandhi. It's the name of the character that they randomly generated for me. I can choose. I'm putting everything into gunnery and piloting because those are the two skills I like in this game.
Okay.
I can be pioneering comrade, and now I get to like have a bonus at the beginning here, which is by default it gives you just like tons of extra money and everybody's happy.
That sounds great. I want that.
Yeah, maybe I just do that.
I want tons of extra money and everybody's happy.
So it's a stimulus check.
It's kind of a stimulus check. The mechs that it will give me, by the way, are also completely random here at the beginning based on my starting location. So I might get like something really good, or I might get something really jacked up and shitty. I got a stealth mech in one campaign once at the very start, and it fucking whipped. Let's just do life savings. Let's do the extra money, and everybody's happy, and see what happens. So this mod suite, there's three major mod suites for BattleTech. One that basically just kind of makes everything like a little bit better, a little bit bigger, a little bit smarter. One that is like just fucked up crazy shit for people who love the old tabletop BattleTech games, called Rogue Tech. And then this mod package is like in the middle between those two.
Cool.
So I figured I would boot this up and see what happens, and then maybe we'll get back to maybe we'll go back to XCOM. I don't know. I needed to step away for a second, clear my head. Okay, that's not really that impressive. Hunchback. I got a Wasp. They also add in like a ton of extra mechs that aren't in the game or originally. This game is called BattleTech. Top left center.
I'm gonna dip because I need to eat and leave a computer for a little bit. This was incredibly fun. Thank you very much for having me. Enjoy the robots, and I hope that you can make them kiss.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Great. All right, bye y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
So this is gonna go great.
Man, these still look like these robots, huh? I love that.
Yeah.
These robot designs were good in 1996, and they're good now.
And a lot of these are community-made assets now.
Oh, really?
Like, this thing is not in the game by default.
Huh.
Nor is this one.
I remember him, though.
Icarus?
Oh, sorry. I'm
we're
on
a
delay. Yeah.
Wasp?
Yeah.
Is that what you remember?
Yeah, Wasp is the one I was talking about.
Yeah, the three on my right here in the mech bay are all community-made assets, which I think for the Firebee really shows in the jetpacks on the back.
Yeah, the textureless jetpacks.
But everything else is pretty good.
Texture to slow you down.
Yeah, you
Just
know,
weigh the jetpacks down.
the load times with these mods on are already bad enough. I get it. So I'm gonna go patrol.
I always get confused between this title and Mech Warrior.
Oh, sure, they're the same universe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever realized that.
If you'll recall, Imran, if you ever played Mech Warrior 2, for instance, many of the same robots feature here.
Yep.
Okay.
It's still wolves and birds, Are those still the two main teams?
So those are the clans. Those got introduced. That's a whole thing with like BattleTech lore, is the clan wars and stuff becoming a whole thing. If you ask people who liked those games back in the day, a lot of people think that the clan wars is where everything kind of fell apart, because that's when they introduced.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's when they introduced a ton of different like new mechanics and stuff, and like just super powerful gear into the game that just unbalanced it completely. Because the clan mechs were just better. Can I level up my guy? I think so. Yeah, I get some XP. I'm going to Phantom or Sure Footing. Blur your mech sensor signature such that you gain +2 evasive charges from movement for 2 turns, 4-turn cooldown. Sure Footing.
I mean, Phantom sounds cooler.
Yeah, Phantom does sound cooler. You're right.
You don't want to be at the party later and everyone's like, "Hey, what'd you choose?" And you're like, "I chose Sure Footing."
Yeah, that's
it's
a good point.
It's like or Kung Lao having to live with going to like Magic Hat school whenever Liu Kang went to Fire Dragon school.
They both come home. It's like, "What'd you learn today?" "My hat spins real fast." It's like, "I turn into a dragon."
Went to the wrong room.
There is a certain like X-Men quality to that. It's just like some people get to, have super cool, powerful regenerative abilities and never die, and some people incinerate their friends if they look at them.
Yeah.
Some people are just like weirdly hairy, and that's their mutant power.
That's what you get. Yep. The pendulum swings both ways.
Y'all know Gold Balls?
Gold Balls?
Yeah.
Is that the guy that makes the eggs?
Yeah, Gold Balls.
Yeah.
He makes the gold balls.
I did not know about Gold Balls until I read whatever that latest thing is. Not House of M, but you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do know what you're talking about. Powers of X and House of X.
Powers of X and House of X, yeah.
Or whatever. Powers of X is definitely one of them.
Yeah, he's for listeners at home, he's a mutant whose ability is to make seemingly useless inert balls of unidentifiable matter. And Professor X eventually figured out that when paired with the ability of a different mutant, they can be used as eggs to regrow clones of the X-Men.
They can just like download their brains into perfectly identical copies of themselves, so they're immortal now.
What?
Yeah. All X-Men are immortal.
X-Men got fucking crazy in the last like 4 years.
Yeah.
There's like no part of that explanation that I'm like, no, this doesn't. One, it steps over so many ethical lines. You'd figure Professor X.
Oh, totally.
Oh, yeah.
And within the first like 4 issues of them establishing that, like half the X-Men die. And so like the Cyclops and Wolverine and stuff that you go into the book with are just dead. They're just not there anymore. And then they hatch back out of these golden eggs, and everybody acts like it's normal. But yeah, Professor X is totally like both in the art and in the context of the story is treated deifically, and he's like establishing mutant
supremacy, basically.
Yeah, mutant supremacy on like a living island that is going to be the mutant like ethno state. It's real, and like
because the island itself is
out?
a mutant.
Yeah.
Has anyone put it out at any point that this is like exactly Magneto's plan from 20 years ago?
Magneto's with them now. Magneto's on their side.
Yeah, Magneto's totally on board. He loves it. And like all mutants have inherent citizenship at what is the island's name?
Krakoa, the island that walks like a man.
Yeah. At Krakoa, unless you're a precognitive mutant.
Yes.
In which case you don't. In which case you don't get to come because it would fuck up their whole thing. Because they have a secret lady in a basement whose mutant ability is a reincarnation. And this is actually her 10th timeline. So her 10th life.
The reason that the X-Men are so like super powerful right now is that there's a lady who's been basically doing the like Tom Cruise Edge of Tomorrow thing, but like for her entire life. So she lives her entire life, gets to the end and resets again, but remembers it every single time. So in this like 10th timeline of her doing that, over and over again. She's like, every time she gets there, she's like, okay, well, I'll make life better for mutants in this way, and then this way, and then like every time I get a little bit better at it, and I make mutant kind a little bit stronger and a little bit smarter and a little bit better, and they have a little bit more forewarning on all these different things. And so,
but precogs, as soon as they meet her, see all of her previous lives also,
right,
and like instantly know what her deal is, and that's how she knows she only has 10 lifetimes. So this has to be the one that matters.
Can she absorb people's powers?
No.
Oh, then she's only a rogue like.
Oh God. I'm briefly leaving the call in protest, but actually I just have to make a phone call and I'll be back real quick. But also that was really good.
Stupid is what it was.
So okay, explain to me. So there's just a war simulation with mechs. Is what you're doing?
Kind of, yeah. It's another turn-based tactics game. I love this game a lot. The thing is that it simulates, especially with these mods, it simulates both the mechs themselves and the pilots inside. So they can start to like panic if they take too much damage or get shot from behind. Also, all of the mechs have health bars corresponding to each different part of their body. And all of their equipment, so if like their right arm gets shot off and like their right arm is where their guns are, they can't use those guns anymore. And then you have to pay money to replace them. And you are a freelance mercenary company out in the world trying to make a living. And that is your kind of whole deal in this one.
It feels like you would not want to build mechs that look like people. Because people are like big gangly idiots that are not the perfect killing machines.
Right.
You would want like a big square. That would be like an ideal mech shape for you.
This is actually like a thing about like people who are like way into mech fiction. Is like the concept of mechs, like in terms of actual engineering and design, make no fucking sense. Like,
yeah,
they're actually terrible for designs. So a lot of mech fiction will like come up with different reasons for why they needed to make humanoid mechs. Like there's a visual novel called, what the hell is it called? Totally blanking on it all of a sudden. By the people who made We Know the Devil, if you're familiar.
I've not heard of it.
Boy, can't I remember it all of a sudden? Heaven Will Be Mine is the name of the visual novel. That is about like a bunch of different mech factions in the 80s in space. Where it's like an alternate reality 80s, where in the 80s, humanity had to like spin up a mech program and go into space to go fight what is just called the existential threat. But because it's an existential threat and not a military threat, they needed hands and like feet and bodies to inhabit that they could control and face like people. And so that's why they have mechs in that one. But the mechs are all like, you know, one of the mechs in that game, their face is just like a bunch of dangling wind chimes held together by like a gravity well for its head and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Try aiming next time. See what you get.
I might bounce out of this in just a minute. I just needed to cool my jets a little bit off of that XCOM.
I mean, that was a bad XCOM. That was a real bad.
I mean, what do I do at this point? Do I just like restart a new campaign of XCOM? Do I just start a new game on a lower difficulty, or like do I boot up Stellaris? Like, what do I do, Imran?
I mean, I have no idea. I've not seen an XCOM run go quite that badly before. Like, I assumed it wouldn't last that long, but like those were two real bad maps right in a row.
Right in a row. Right
like,
in a row.
If you had some breathing room, you could have recovered. You could have like built up your ranks again. But like 2 full wipes in a row is just like, that's a campaign ender.
2 full wipes in a row, including like the special units that you get from like the story. You know?
Yeah.
You need me to hold still for you?
Okay. Okay. I've cooled down. My brain is reset.
Uh-huh.
I feel like I can't just abandon XCOM 2, you know?
I think you can abandon it.
What's that?
You might have to restart this campaign.
I might. What if I just restarted a campaign on normal difficulty Iron Man?
I think that would be better, especially if you plan to do this show for a while.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I don't think there's any saving this run right here.
Time for a Fire Emblem Night Rare run, says Oishi.
Fire Emblem Night Rare runs aren't fun because it's like, oh, I'm definitely gonna hit this guy. Nope, I missed, and he hit me back 3 times.
Ugh, yeah. Fire Emblem's combat mechanics are actually like kind of all over the place, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like those games a lot. That nightmare runs are not fun.
Okay.
All right. This should be imminently more doable.
Yeah, I think you're right. Okay. All right, we're going to do it. I'm going to skip past cutscenes. We've already seen it. We know what to expect. We're getting back into it. We're getting back into the swing. Okay. This will be fun. This will be what? This will be nothing.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Hi.
Hi. What'd I miss?
We're going back into XCOM.
The aliens need to
Oh, we are?
Yeah.
Okay, what happened?
I feel like well, no, nothing. I just needed a chance to cool down.
Oh, okay.
After fucking Nightmare. I'm starting a new XCOM campaign on normal Iron Man instead of hard Iron Man. Because I feel
Normal
like
Iron Man.
I feel like I'm committed to XCOM. I committed to playing XCOM, and I'm gonna beat XCOM on this. I don't think there's any saving that run that I was on.
Yeah, I think that one's forfeit.
Imran is an expert. Imran diagnosed that one was fucked. And this is the intended experience. That first one was a warm-up. We were kind of like setting the bar high for ourselves so that we could come back into here and do even better. Because now we'll just blaze through it. Now we'll beat this game
you've been
in 2 hours.
You've been training it 10 times Earth's gravity.
Exactly, Jordan. That's exactly what happened. Yeah. And look at all
You
this.
never know how close to the sun you can get unless you let your wings melt at least once.
Right.
True.
Yeah.
That's why they always shoot at least one rocket directly into the sun.
This is why you know what? This is why I brought you guys onto the stream here tonight. This is this is why I started that call because I needed this advice. I needed these great pearls of wisdom.
Yeah.
Oh well, and with a game like XCOM, it's so easy to just get in your own head, like so far deep in your own head that you can't like make objective decisions anymore.
Right? Yeah.
moving to position.
Blackjack Attack wants to know if this is still an alien Dylan.
Nope, these are all the real characters now. So if they die, we can no longer resurrect them with the Dragon Balls.
Dylan's already been resurrected once.
Yep, exactly. They've all been resurrected once, and now this is them.
You have to birth it out of the golden eggs.
Yeah. Imran, I'm so glad we got to share that with you.
And that's like the only comic book I've read in like the last like 8 years probably.
I don't read a lot of comics, but I have so many friends who do that I absorb so much of it through cultural osmosis. It's always like, I'm not sure if they're only telling me the most insane things or comics are just insane in general now.
It depends. I mean, it's a bit of both because comics definitely. The Hulk is the devil.
Like which, like the devil?
The devil.
Do you take over or
was he always the devil?
A little bit of both. Kind of a little bit of both. The Hulk. There's around the same, a little bit before the X-Men run that you were reading, Jordan. There was a run of the Incredible Hulk called the Immortal Hulk.
Okay.
And by comic book writers.
She says we know the Hulk.
Very good. Yeah, we talked about Heaven Will Be Mine a little bit while you were on.
Oh, cool.
Taken care of.
What was I? So the Hulk was the devil. There was a green door. The Hulk ate a man with his body.
Okay.
The Hulk because the Hulk would just like regenerate, like a Bruce. Oh boy, yeah. The Immortal Hulk. It's a really good comic. People should read it. But it was by an author that Marvel author that I like a lot named Al Ewing. And it started a little bit
possessed
before.
by the devil or actually the devil?
Actually, the devil, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly.
Like Satan, the biblical devil.
I think so. It's because there's a concept called the Devil Hulk.
Is that the red one?
That's Red Hulk. Not to be confused with Grey Hulk.
Right, Grey Hulk is when he's like smart and nice. Right?
Yeah, and he was originally. So I mean, the actual original like 12-issue run of the Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, was a horror series, like in the vein of like a Mary Shelley's
Dr.
Frankenstein, or like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Like, what if Dr. Jekyll was Frankenstein?
Right, totally.
Yeah.
And
he was gray then, right?
Yeah, and he was gray, and then they changed his color to green because it stood out on the paper better. But Al Ewing basically said, like, well, when I was a kid, we had that 12-issue run of the original Incredible Hulk in my, like, school library. And it was a horror series until they changed it to more of an adventure, fun superhero time. And he was like, what if I just did a new Hulk series that was like the old horror stuff? And they were like, okay. And they did that. And basically, Bruce Banner gets brought back. Bruce Banner gets killed in a Marvel event called Civil War II, I think it was actually. And
is that one also about superhero registration?
No, it's superheroes versus superheroes, but they're fighting over something different. They're fighting over whether or not they're fighting over Minority Report, basically.
Movie rights.
Yeah, they're fighting over the movie rights to Minority Report. They're fighting over.
Merit's in bad shape.
Yeah, I'm gonna get her to safety. They're fighting over whether or not it's okay to use a precognitive superhero's powers.
Oh, like pre-crime.
Pre-crime, yeah.
Right.
They're fighting over basically is it okay to do to rely on pre-crime or not? And Captain Marvel is like, yes, we should use pre-crime.
Captain Marvel?
Captain Marvel is, yeah. Because she was dating War Machine rather, Rhodey Rhodes, and Thanos shows up and kills War Machine.
Oh, okay.
Which was,
and she's like, if we had used precogs, I would have been able to go arrest Thanos.
Yeah, I could have just simply arrested Thanos.
Yeah.
And then that was also a whole thing because it was like it was a white man writing that this black superhero should get offered the role of the like they do this whole thing where he's supposed to like become the first superhero president of the United States because like the president comes to Rhodey and is like, hey, sooner or later somebody's going to elect a superhero to be the president of the United States because that's just because you're just all like too big of public figures and too like popular and like the world loves you. So eventually somebody's going to run for president, and I want it to be somebody who's like got a vested interest in like the United States, and you are a United States ass.
The military industrial complex.
Totally.
Is that what that actually means?
Yeah, that's actually what it means. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Rhodey's like, oh great, yeah, sure, I'll run for president, and then gets immediately killed like 3 pages later, fighting Thanos, and then. At the time, it was like a whole thing where it's like, oh, it was a white author, Brian Michael Bendis, who you might know, who made that decision, and they had like a whole retreat at like a Marvel studio. Where
Marvel loves its retreats.
Yeah, where they talked about like different story ideas, and and Ta-Nehisi Coates, who was writing Black Panther at the time, and I think Captain America, was like, hey, don't do this. Don't write this storyline. And then they said, okay, all right, yeah, we heard you, we listened, and then they promptly completely ignored him.
Cool. I know they're going to blow up the bandstand.
You know?
We blowed up the bandstand. We did it?
We did mission number 1.
Okay. Blackjack Attack says the inciting incident is a precog seeing Miles Morales killing the Hydra Captain America.
Right, they didn't know he was Hydra Captain America at the time, but yes.
Oh yeah, when they I forgot that the famous panel going around for a while of Captain America saying Hail Hydra.
No, hold up.
Yeah.
The idea that precogs can only know some of the things is such stupid like story bullshit.
Yeah, it's dumb, right?
Like
we saw Spider-Man killing Captain America, but we didn't know the context or anything else about it.
Totally, that's literally what it is.
Yeah. And therefore, we should send Captain Marvel to arrest Thanos.
Like, how did you have anybody who has any secrets, like a secret Hydra Captain America, in an world where there are precogs who can theoretically see anything?
Right, and like psychics. I think they have established many times in like Marvel lore, like, oh, some people undergo training to protect themselves from psychic invasion and stuff like that.
Well, that's what Magneto's helmet is for.
Right.
Is to keep get out of my head, Charles.
Yeah.
Etc.
And there's other stuff like that too. I mean, if you want to go by Star Wars rules, there's Grand Admiral Thrawn had the fucking like weird psychic cat that he used to always keep by him because it blocked Jedi mind powers.
Cool. And then Sebulba was just immune to the Jedi mind trick for no reason.
Or not Sebulba, Watto.
The pod race guy. Yeah, whatever his name is.
Watto is the guy, the
Watto.
slave owner.
Yeah, that guy. Who's Sebulba?
He's a racer. And he's
the other pod racer, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
If
The one
you're
that
gonna
looks
talk
like
about
a.
Cup, you should be remembered.
You're
You're memorialized forever.
But now I'm starting to
Sebulba's the one that looks like one of the enemies from Oddworld.
Yes.
He looks like a fucking slig. Yeah.
Yeah, Slig.
Commander, we're attempting
Did that new one come out?
Yeah, I
Go play
talked
that?
about it on Channel F a little bit.
These people
That's
like
right.
to keep
Played
a
it.
very low profile, so it may take some time before we hear back.
Is that a PlayStation game?
It was free on PlayStation Plus when it launched.
That's right.
You never know what we may find out there. Commander,
Only on PS5. There's a PS4 version and a PS5 version, and the PS5 version only gets you the PS5 version, but the PS4 version gets you both, which is a weird
Cool.
thing.
It's going to take some
Is
time.
transferring game? I don't have a PlayStation 5. We talked about this last stream, but is transferring like your saves and stuff between those two platforms still a weird like nightmare?
You can do it like with just like hooking it to like Ethernet between the two, or you can do it
can you
wirelessly.
really?
That takes more time. Honestly, it's probably best to just like upload into PS Plus if you can.
Yeah, that's what I did. I just uploaded mine to the cloud and then downloaded it from the cloud for.
I was really surprised to learn that stuff requires a PlayStation Plus membership
Oh,
Yeah.
the cloud stuff.
to do that. Yeah, to like just move your save over the internet from one console to the other,
I think they all.
or like cloud saving.
Not
or whatever.
Xbox.
The Xbox
Nintendo
does not.
and Sony do, but Microsoft does not.
Right.
And
Nintendo's
Nintendo's is
thing-
very context sensitive, right? Like it only for some games.
For most games, but like ones where Nintendo, for whatever reason, feels very strongly about you not being able to back up online, like Animal Crossing or Splatoon, those do not.
And Microsoft's weird thing for a long time there, which actually they just pulled back, was that you needed to have a monthly subscription, like their paid subscription, Xbox Live Gold, to play free-to-play games online. I remember that.
Right, I remember that. Yeah,
But they just rolled that back, I think.
they did.
Oops, I want to customize, I want to load out. So we're basically caught up to where we were.
Already? That took like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, no, we did it, you know? We are not nearly caught up to where we were. Jordan,
No.
sorry, I was fucking with you.
No, sorry, I've been looking at the Immortal Hulk Wikipedia entry.
Oh yeah, the Immortal Hulk stuff is fucking wild, dude. If you see some of the art out there, of like Immortal Hulk getting like his skin blasted off, and then like going at the villain, grabbing the villain, putting the villain inside of his like chest cavity, and then like regenerating around the villain to like swallow him up and like absorb him into the Hulk's body.
Cool.
Then Dracula kidnapped Wolverine to use him as an everlasting blood bag, and says Blackjack Attack.
That's a good plan.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Very sustainable on Dracula's part.
It's like, look, I could keep killing God knows how many thousands of people.
Yeah.
Or, like, I can pay this one guy. It's a much better decision.
That's, I think, where Dracula really messed up, is not just paying Wolverine. He should have, instead of kidnapping him, he should have simply given him money.
Yeah.
Like Wolverine could open an Etsy shop where he just sells his blood to Dracula or whoever for like $40 a pint.
Sure. What
Yeah.
blood type is Wolverine? I'm sure this is addressed somewhere.
Let's find out.
Because he could just donate blood if so.
Wolverine blood type. He's type E.
What? Shut up.
That's Google's autofill answer. Let's find out if that's actually correct or not.
Bien. Vista en el objetivo.
I'm sure it's come up in something, like
It
some
has to.
Marvel book.
Got it.
Yeah, there's got at bare minimum. There's got to be like the Marvel Encyclopedia Volume 25 or whatever says it.
Yeah.
Or there's like he's in all those Marvel vs. Capcom games. Like fighting games love to put the blood types of the characters in them. What if it's in there? You know.
Yeah.
We got something over here.
It's mild spoilers apparently for the most recent Wolverine #1 from 2020. Instead of having type, this is according to CBR.com. Instead of having type A, B, or O blood, Wolverine's blood is something else, which the issue's data page identifies as E, or endless.
That's not how blood types work. Yeah.
With blood that's completely compatible with any other blood type, Logan is a true universal donor.
Okay.
His blood even has temporary healing effects when given to someone else, as Wolverine recently proved in Savage Avengers. However, the blood tends to lose its efficacy once outside of his body.
Okay.
What? Okay, sure.
So he's a universal donor, and I guess the healing factor means that he would never have to have a transfusion himself, so it doesn't matter what he would be compatible with coming in from the outside.
They don't really. Another thing I feel like they've never addressed properly with Wolverine is like, could he just keep regenerating forever out of zero mass, or does he have to keep eating?
Well, he was like a skeleton at one point, right? Or like just like some kind of half obliterated Wolverine.
The Punisher blew off his face once. Oh yeah, totally.
Like he's regenerated from like total incinerate, like complete disintegration, basically,
yeah,
right?
Cell, yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's a good question. Where does that mass come from?
I feel like when you get to the words like cell, things have gotten too far. Like you reach a comic where like.
No, that's when you know you're on the right path, because that's the best part of that.
Yeah,
show.
it literally. Yeah, I'm right there with you, Jordan. Of Dragon Ball Z, that is the best thing that they ever did was Cell.
Yeah. Trunks rules. Cell's a great bad guy. He's so fucking creepy and weird.
Teen Gohan, like.
Yeah, the Teen Gohan coming into his own, and Goku being just like the shit worst dad.
So that is in the Dragon Ball community a weird point of contention where some people really, really hate the idea of Goku being a bad dad, and like everyone always points to that Cell Games thing of, no, he fucking healed Cell.
Yeah,
like that is a
he
terrible
gave Cell a
thing.
senzu bean.
Yeah,
and like he's a bad father and a great like martial arts mentor.
Yes,
I think is the distinction.
Sure.
Because he knew that Gohan needed to be pushed. That like Gohan was right on the cusp of becoming the next person who could protect Earth, and that he needed that final push. And Goku was willing to endanger the lives of everyone else on Earth and everyone there in order to do that.
Also, it didn't work because while Gohan did get stronger, he also immediately gave it up.
Yeah, for real. And like it wasn't until it's Android spoilers for the third saga of Dragon Ball Z, I guess. It's Android 16 when he dies. He's the one that like his head rolls over to Gohan and says like, Gohan, sometimes you're gonna have to kill, and it's okay. Like the world that we exist in is not one where pacifists can truly protect the people that they care about. And there are objectively bad things in this world that you will have to get rid of.
It's also a weird lesson because it's one Goku does not follow. Not for those reasons, but like Goku will let anyone live if it means they might get stronger and he can fight them again later.
Yeah, exactly. And so like Goku won't kill anybody but for the complete wrong reason. Versus like that moment with Gohan, because like Gohan has been essentially for his whole life holding himself back because he doesn't want to kill anybody.
Yeah.
And Android 16's head rolls over and says like, hey buddy, this is pretty bad. Like if you're ever going to make an exception, like sometimes you're going to have to make exceptions when the people that you care about are on the line. And it's that, and then also Goku dying, that give him the push to go Super Saiyan 2, which is the best thing that ever happens in that show.
It's very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it's so good.
I love that whole arc.
It's great, and Trunks' whole shit is so like.
Did you ever hear why that arc is the way it is, of like cascading villains that are each more menacing than the last?
No, how come?
So when Akira Toriyama was making it, the original plan he had was to make Android 19 and Dr. Shiro the actual villains.
Okay.
So when he did this, there was a specific manga author who goes unnamed, who Toriyama really looked up to, and the author called him one day. Is like, "You're really gonna have this old man as a weird clown as like your villains?" And Toriyama was like, "No, I've got other villains. It's cool. Don't worry about it." Which is why he introduced 17 and 18, and then he gets his call from the
who are way
author
cooler.
again.
Yeah.
And,
They're way cooler. But
Yeah.
the author was like, "You're gonna have Goku fight kids, some like punk teenagers," and like, no, I have another idea. Introduces Cell. The author thinks Cell is real dumb looking.
Cell
It's
does,
like,
is
what?
real dumb looking at first. Cell gets the perfect Cell looks awesome, but
Yeah.
the first two versions of Cell look like shit.
I love
Basically,
Bug
just-
Cell. I think Bug Cell's cool.
Basically, this continues until he gets the perfect Cell. Then it's like, oh yeah, that's a cool looking villain.
So
Orders confirmed.
Who could this guy possibly be that Akira Toriyama looks up to?
I mean-
from like a character design standpoint.
I mean, the first option that immediately comes to mind, purely because of like what just happened, is like Kentaro Miura.
Sure.
But
Were they
I have no idea.
contemporaries at the time? I don't know how long Berserk has
They
been
were
going.
Berserk
around
has
at
been
the
going
same
for like a
time.
million years.
Oh, okay.
89 is when Berserk started.
Oh wow, okay, so that would have lined up.
Yeah, and he wrote it like the entire time, and like off and on, like Hirohishi Togashi, the Hunter x Hunter guy,
Yeah.
the Yu Yu Hakusho man.
It's funny going through Bakuman, which is it's a manga about being in Shonen Jump, and it's made by the people who made Death Note. It's funny looking at that and seeing like, oh, I know who this manga artist that they're talking about is probably who they're actually referring to, or this editor they're talking like, they speak about someone occasionally in that thing of like, this guy's gonna get himself killed if he keeps working this hard, which is very clearly Eiichiro Oda, the One Piece creator.
Yeah, who like a thing that people who maybe don't follow manga very much probably don't know is that One Piece is past 1,000 issues and is a weekly series.
Yeah.
It is not a monthly comic like most American comics are monthly. A lot of manga is weekly, and One Piece has been weekly for over 1,000 issues, with like a couple of breaks here and there.
Is also very dense, like artistically dense.
Yeah.
And Oda
Yeah.
does the art himself. So like there are 2-page spreads that have thousands of elements on them. They're like, how the hell did you do this in a week? How is that possible?
Did his wife take over for a while, right?
The wife of Togashi, who writes Hunter x Hunter.
Hunter, I'm getting those conflated, yeah.
Yeah.
His
and
wife
his wife
is the creator of Sailor Moon.
Right.
Yeah.
Like total.
which is why there's
total
like some
gold.
Sailor Moon references in Yu Yu Hakusho and Yu Yu Hakusho references in Sailor Moon.
Yeah, what's his name? Goenma from Yu Yu Hakusho dresses up like Tuxedo Mask as his like fake disguise to fool all of the
that's
people
fun.
in the demon world to tell them that like, oh, it's not me.
Only the beginning, Commander. Your leadership will be a beacon to our people.
I found out recently, and this is surprising that I did not know, but Yoko Taro's wife is the artist behind Taiko no Tatsujin, the little drum.
Oh, really?
game with the cute little-
Wow,
Oh, that's cool.
that's awesome.
That
Also,
one on the Switch is good.
kind of,
Yeah, no, it makes sense and doesn't at the same time.
but some of those Taiko no Tatsujin drum guys do kind of look a little bit like some I should say some near stuff looks like some the Tatsujin stuff.
Yeah, she did some illustrations in Dragon Guard 3, I think, which is a like much more humor-oriented game than the other ones.
We've got a temporary ceasefire.
Dragon Guard 3 is?
Yeah, so that game is surprisingly casual about a lot of like jokes.
Is that the one that he originally wanted to have like an Ayumi Hamasaki concert be the final thing that happened in that
was
game?
Dragon Guard 1 because
Was that the first one? Okay.
That was the interview I had with him where I was like, was there any?
Was that your
anything
interview?
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
that was the one where like is there anything they just never let you do? And that was his like first immediate answer. But it's Dragon Guard 3 is a really interesting game, and I'm going to assume at some point they're either going to remake it or like find a way to retell it, because it does matter quite a bit in that universe. I'm interested to see what they end up doing with it.
The only scene I've seen 2 scenes of Drakengard 3, and one of them actually does support your like, oh, it's actually pretty goofy stance, which is I've seen a scene where like this old man shows up to attack the main character crew, and he's like, "Ah, you're in for it now. I surrender," and then just immediately drops his swords, and like like the main lady is like holding her sword at him, and like in battle stance because she was like ready for a big climactic fight. It's been building up to a big fight, and then they just hold that pose, not saying anything to each other for like 2 or 3 real-time minutes. That's one of the only scenes I've seen of Drakengard 3. And then, like, eventually a dragon that is, like, one of the good guys sneezes, and everybody's like, well, all right, then.
That's really funny. It's like it's a fun version of that scene from Evangelion.
Yeah.
I do want to point out something very silly about the stream right now.
Yeah.
Which is that our title is still Mega Man BattleTech Work. And the game is set to BattleTech, and we're playing XCOM. so there are 3 competing narratives right now as to what is actually supposed to be happening on this stream right now.
You know, this stream was always about creating OCs and about, you know, like
the friends we made along the way.
Yeah, the friends we made along the way, developing our own different fictional universes.
No more time for regret. We are not alone.
I wonder if I can update the game. Let's see.
They still look like people.
What was human died
XCOM
years ago.
2, what is this, War of the Chosen?
War of the Chosen. XCOM 2 is what you'll get on Twitch, though.
Hey, it worked.
If we beat this mission, we'll be pretty close to caught up to where we were.
This is a long mission, though.
It is a pretty long mission, because it's multiple parts.
Yeah.
Okay, I figured out the command to change the title.
Okay.
Honestly, Jordan, keep it like that. I think it's great.
Just leave it? Okay.
Is this how I do this?
If we are careful with our shots, we will prevail.
Nikki's gonna have a great time archiving this one to YouTube.
Oh yeah, it'll be real fun.
I will say, for whatever reason, like, they don't do huge numbers, but the YouTube archives of this stream specifically seem to do better than, like, the Merit Souls one. Maybe just because people are actually watching the Merit Souls one live. More
YouTube people love XCOM.
Yeah.
Is that true? Okay.
It's also probably less sequential. So, like,
Yeah.
you can jump into the middle of this one 1 minute, so you probably want to watch everything leading up to it.
Sure.
Enemies down.
I mean, I don't know how you're gonna get through this series without understanding the deep lore that we've developed here. The ups and downs we've had along the way.
Well, look, a lot's happened.
A lot has happened in this specific episode.
Oh, you're gonna get great cover from this plastic garbage can.
Well, zombies don't care one way or the other, so it's fine.
Creature's DNA has
There was some. I've been watching a streamer friend of mine, Selena. Shoutouts to Hi Selena. Do we have a shout out command?
to the alien radiation from those pods. So why anyone
Some channels have that. Let's find out.
Blackjack Attack says this one is a great one to put in the background, which I love to hear, because honestly, that's a huge compliment to me. That's exactly the vibe I strive for in almost everything I do in life.
Those are the best shows.
I'm not even kidding.
What was I saying? Oh, she's been playing that Jedi game from recently. That
Fallen Order?
Yeah, that's like 20% Dark Souls.
Yeah, it's 20% Sekiro specifically, because it's all parry.
It's extremely parry focused. There's no like shield mechanic in that game.
I talked to Stig Asmussen at when they revealed that game. I was like, "So, what are you playing?" And he's like, "I've been playing Sekiro, but it's really hard because the buttons are just slightly different from ours." So like I have no idea how to I keep getting confused.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
funny.
yeah. So that's funny, because when I played Fallen Order, I couldn't get into it the first time I tried. I eventually went back and beat it like 2 months ago, but I had such a time playing it the first time because the parry windows were so different from Sekiro, and I got so good at the Sekiro parry windows when I was reviewing that game. And then I went into Fallen Order, which is an easier game, and just couldn't handle it. I just couldn't deal with it because the parry windows were so much bigger and more open, and so I was like waiting too long and just getting hit when really what the game wanted me to do was like just like start blocking immediately.
I had the problem where I was trying to play the game like Dark Souls, not Sekiro. So I was dodge rolling everything, And at some point, like, there's a specific fight where you're fighting like two large insect monsters at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
You can't dodge roll in that because you will just get swiped.
Totally. Yep.
There's a lot of wildlife in that game.
Yeah.
Well, they don't want you only killing humans because, like, you can only kill stormtroopers. That's the only thing that's allowed.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
the
Star
rest
Wars
is
will
being
only
monsters.
allow you to kill a stormtrooper.
Stormtroopers and robots, you know, droids. Because droids aren't people in Star Wars lore, apparently.
It's true.
So
I've completely forgotten why I brought this up in the first place.
because your friend was streaming.
Yeah, but why did I want to talk about Selena streaming Star Wars? What were we saying right before that?
Yes. All we can offer
I don't know. It might
Ask me to remember too much.
it might come to me. I don't know. We'll find out.
I tweeted, Natalie is the only survivor of XCOM, the ultimate bullying. She has replied, I'm better than all of you even when I'm not there.
I wish she was here, honestly. I wish she could have been here to see herself just fucking, like stand above the city while everyone screamed, save us, and she just looked down and whispered no. Oh. Blackjack Attack also references LB learning about Thunderbolt Fantasy, which happened on an episode of Mavis Beacon Teaches Tactics a million years ago when I streamed Shadowrun.
Return to your god.
That's also one of my favorite moments, just because Thunderbolt Fantasy fucking rules, and everybody should go watch it. New season just started.
Is that the live action one or the puppets one?
Puppets. It's a live action puppets, but yeah.
Right.
Because it's not like stop motion, it's literally puppeteering. But it's like the most fucking involved, high speed, high octane, action packed puppeteering you've ever seen. With like
Even more so than Threshold Kids.
Oh yeah. Because this is like actually like as LB discovered once LB started watching it, like because LB loves wuxia and like Chinese dramas and stuff like that, and it's just that but with puppets. It's like done in a very specific style that is supposed to be reminiscent of that, and all the characters have like fantasy Chinese names. And
No compromises.
it is incredibly anime because it's live action, but then they will go back in and add like CG special effects of like somebody whipping a sword around so fast that it creates a laser bolt that slices through a guy and cuts him in half, and blood sprays out of the puppets. And
Oh, really?
yeah. Oh, it's like super violent.
Oh, that sounds great.
Puppets are getting like dismembered left and right because they're puppets, so they can just do that anytime they
Yeah.
want.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah,
What is this
Fantasy
on?
rules. This is it's streaming on Crunchyroll.
Oh, that makes sense.
And there's currently 2 seasons of the show intercut by two prequel movies, and then they're in season 3 of the show right now.
Cool.
In a very recent episode, so this show has been on for a while now, and it's popular enough that it has Nendoroids of some of the characters in the show.
Oh, okay.
And then in the most recent season, one of the characters who's like this kind of like Loki type magical trickster con man guy, called the Enigmatic Gale, gives another character a like little human effigy of himself to use as like a communications device, and it's just his own Nendoroid. It's a Nendoroid of himself that they are using in the show as a smaller puppet for their puppets.
That's really funny.
Because the puppets that they actually use are enormous. They're really,
I bet.
really big.
Yeah.
The skirmishers.
My partner and I started watching Yasuke last night.
Oh.
And so Yasuke's a real person. I know that. I did not know this is a supernatural show until the mechs and the zombie samurai started showing up, which is like, to be fair, early on. But then the show is like so not that for like 20 minutes at a time that you forget until like weird shit just starts happening again. So it's like, oh yeah, he's taking the woman on a boat. Like that's a totally normal thing, like that normal people will do. Oh wait, now the river is frozen and a giant mech has come out.
What show is this?
Yasuke. It's a Netflix. I don't want to use the term anime, but like because it's an American-made thing, but like it's a Netflix anime. Like it's about the black samurai that like is a real person that did exist in Japan.
A man of African origin who served as a kashin under the Japanese daimyo Oda Nobunaga in 1579. That's wild.
It is one of the many pieces of media to now contribute to the is Oda Nobunaga a villain or a hero
Oh, sure.
Economy.
Oh yeah, I was playing some Neo 2 over the weekend.
This show actually made me want to go back and play more Neo 2.
Ooh yeah.
Cause I got the PS5 version, which I believe comes with the DLC, and I never touched any of that.
I have not touched any of the DLC other than the DLC introduces new weapon types, because that's a loot game, which I don't think a lot of people know. It's like a Diablo with like randomized colored like magical loot, and one of the new weapon archetypes that they introduce in that is or two of them are from the DLC, and I've been using some of the DLC weapon types, like which are the I forget, not Switchglaive. No, Switchglaive is old, but there's like the something staff, which is like a big like bow staff that breaks off into like 2 giant nunchucks, and that thing's really cool. It scales with magic damage.
I think I was dual swords when I was playing the game.
Okay.
Which is less cool than you would think. Like, I think the regular sword is actually like stronger. The dual sword is just like, man, this would be cool to actually use, but not that powerful.
I before in Neo 1, I should say, I used the Kusari Gama a lot, the kind of like chain and sickle. Blackjack Attack, I'm liking Neo 2 a lot. I played a little bit of it when it first came out, and then I went back and restarted a new play on the PlayStation 5 version, and it's still really good. Also,
the process of getting your save from PS4 to PS5 is insane.
Yeah, so I just didn't bother, because I didn't play far enough into Neo 2 for it to matter.
Yeah.
Did you go through it?
I went through it, and first time I tried to go through it, they're like, hey, the servers are down. I was like, and I figured that was reasonable because they gave us early codes. It's like, okay, that makes sense, but I'm not going to start a new save file. Because if you do, then you can't bring your save in. So I just had to like wait until the servers were up, which is I think like a day before release, and then I could import my save file, and that itself, it errored out the first time, and then it couldn't find the save again, but then restarting the game, it found it. So it is an insane process that it makes you realize Xbox's like smart delivery thing.
Yeah.
Like, I thought I was very cynical about it, like, oh, that's dumb. Why would they give a name to this thing? And it turns out because they actually realized it would give a problem, and so they did not.
You're yep. That is the thing. Like, yeah, that I keep seeing with that, and I still think that like Xbox has some problems on the stuff that they branded a lot of, like the what do they call it? Where it's like if you close down a game and like mouse over to a different game, it's supposed to like keep your other game open.
Oh, it's like smart something.
That's quick something. I think that's quick resume. Are you talking?
Quick resume. Quick resume.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
The like smart thing might be Sony's branding for it.
Sony doesn't have it. Period.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Sony
Returnal would be much more useful.
Yeah. But yeah, quick resume just doesn't work. Like quick resume, the smart delivery stuff worked out pretty well for them, but like the quick resume thing that they branded was just like, oh, this is meaningless because none of the games actually work with it.
It's weird. It feels like that should be an OS level thing. Games should not need to support it or not.
Right. Yeah, totally,
yeah. I could see it if it was like a thing where it's like, well, games that were exclusive to the Xbox One and were not Xbox Series X game and S games, maybe. I don't know. It's so strange. Also, I did want to call out Fuzzy Tipsy referred to the enigmatic Gale, the character from Thunderbolt Fantasy I was referencing earlier, as Vape Wizard, which is exactly what he is. I love it so much. But yeah, the Returnal thing is like a real flashpoint, I think, for Sony's like mishandling of UI type stuff.
It's baffling to me, and like maybe it shouldn't be baffling because like COVID and the fact that they're selling out the systems anyway and nobody actually can get one.
Right.
That UI, that OS in general is just not that different than it was in November when it was clearly half baked and not done.
Right. And you heard stories at the time that was basically like, yeah, it basically is only half done because like these consoles came in super hot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's almost like they should have waited a year.
Yeah.
It's almost like they should have just maybe not put the consoles out.
I think the problem we were running into is that like games were just like getting impossible to play on older hardware. Like
Yeah, but they didn't have to put the games out either, Steve.
I bet if they could have made that decision in September of 2020 to be like, let's just wait a year, they probably would have. But by that point, the ball was already rolling. And it wasn't a whole lot they could do about it. But
yeah, I mean,
really
like,
think...
I don't know. Like, do you not think that they could have like in like June been like, okay, maybe we need to pump the brakes a little?
It could no, because like Sony had already started talking about it in Wired like a year prior to that.
Oh,
that's
right.
true.
They did all those interviews.
I forgot. Yeah, I forgot about the like weird hardware exposés that went up.
And Phil Spencer was talking about it like
consoles.
at E3 for like 3 years in a row.
Yeah, that's right.
So at some point it would have been like, okay, well, we could delay it, but then no one's gonna buy old consoles this year. They'll just wait.
Yeah, everybody's just gonna wait, and then like, why do you even buy the games? And then that gets into the weird, messier part of like, at that point, does Sony need to start like taking a bath on saying like, all of the PlayStation 4 games you buy will get you a free copy of the PS5 version, because that was such a weird flashpoint for people.
And then they also like that would have wreaked havoc on like their projected financials.
Yeah.
And like they probably had a bunch of pre-order stuff that they had to vest that fiscal year. So yeah, I can see why they did it. It's just like, no matter how you slice it, it's bad for the consumer because you're either buying games that don't run well on old consoles, or you're buying an old console and like, yeah, it's not great.
Also, like if they had waited and launched this year for for COVID reasons, tech reasons, whatever, boy, the semiconductor shortage would have just screwed everyone over completely. Which is still will. Like it's gonna be real bad later this year, but there would have been even fewer PS5s at launch than there are already.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm still unclear on where the shortage is. Why it's so hard to get these consoles right now.
There was a flood, right? Like a couple years ago.
Yeah, that's part of it.
What?
There was a flood in like one of the
at a warehouse that had all the PlayStations in it.
No, in the part of the world where people get a lot of like the precious metals to like make chips.
Yeah.
So that like whole industry in like I don't know where it is exactly, like Southeast Asia or something along those lines. Like that whole area just got like ruined by like major flooding, and so like the whole industry that would normally like get you the parts that you need for that stuff was just like on hold for a while, and now we've run out of the like stuff that we had before. And are still catching up on building new ones.
So
interesting. We had a bev check from Fuzzy Tipsy.
For me.
Yeah, I also just have water, but I had an Arnold Palmer earlier.
Ooh, an Arnold Palmer.
Yeah.
Snapple makes a good Arnold Palmer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Snapple tea's underrated.
Yes.
I haven't had a Snapple in a minute, but I don't know why, because I actually really like Snapple.
I like those. Y'all remember Fruitopia?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do.
They don't make those anymore, but I like the strawberry kiwi one. That was good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have been basically, other than coffee, just drinking water recently because...
Yeah, you're not on your Coke Zero Cherry tip anymore?
When I moved into this house, I basically stopped because I've just been like, new house, new me kind of situation where I've just been trying to be healthier and make my own food. And
your kidneys are thanking you right now.
I'm sure. What's good for my cats is good for me, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yes, just eating cat food.
I am... So my partner and I are moving in together later this year, and she has 2 cats whom I love very dearly, and I am going to spoil the hell out of them in a way that I think she already finds extremely exasperating.
Oh no!
So like, every time I see like a deal on Amazon for a cat toy, I buy it. I have already made designs to purchase a taco truck called El Gato Taco that is like a little small plastic cardboard thing that they just stand on and like use as a scratching pad. But I find hilarious thinking like get inside and get behind the driver's wheel.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I look forward to the inevitable deluge of pictures on social media.
Oh, 100%. They are going to bother every morning meeting we have.
Yeah, good.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Steven, this we seem to be doing pretty good.
Yeah, this is still fairly tutorial-y, but like the tutorial is going well. That being said, even on the hard mode, my tutorial run went pretty well. Then everything just happened to fall apart right after.
Well, I haven't seen any like big explosions, or like we haven't cut somebody and haven't cut an alien with a sword, and that killed 3/4 of our team.
I just picture every other soldier being like, "Don't use the sword; it's gonna be a problem one day."
Like, no, it's cool. It's my thing. Natalie got ambushed by the.
It went much better last time.
It did go much better last time. Last time was like fucking nothing.
Like one hit.
But I hate that she gets to like get in, attack, and then like leave before I can do anything. And Overwatch doesn't
because they gotta make you mad.
She's a chick.
They gotta give you a reason to like want to hunt her down and not like her more than the other aliens.
She does have weaknesses, but I can't take advantage of any of them if she just runs away inside of cover.
Yeah, yeah. But this is her first appearance, right?
Yes, in the story of this game for sure.
Yeah, so they got to give you like a wascally wabbit sort of you know, your what's his name, Yosemite Sam, constantly besieged by that varmint, etc.
Yeah.
I'm sure that on the design docs and whiteboards and stuff at who made this for Axis?
Firaxis,
Yeah.
For Axis. They just have pictures of Yosemite Sam all over the place.
Oh, totally, yeah. The big Bugs Bunny fans over there.
Take-Two just had their financials, and they're not mentioned in new XCOM, but I'm kind of still hoping maybe that's somewhere in the plans this next year.
Yeah, I don't know, because, Chimera Squad happened.
Yeah, which I always assume Chimera Squad is, like, was an experiment for a future XCOM.
Totally, yeah.
Might be a little while off.
Because that game launched and was like, if you buy it in the first week, it's $5. After that, it like costs $20 or whatever.
Yeah.
What a weird thing.
It was so strange. That was also around the same time that Corruption 2029 thing came out. Remember that?
No, what was that?
That was remember the Mutants Year Zero guys?
Yes.
They made another game like 6 months after Mutant Year Zero that was exactly like Mutant Year Zero, but it cost $20 or something like that, some very small amount of money.
Okay.
And it was very clearly just supposed to be an experiment that just like it got announced and then was out a week later.
I don't remember that at all.
But it was around the same time, and it was like another turn-based strategy game that put out like a weird, cheap experimental game that was very clearly just them laying the groundwork for a future release in their big series.
The Elder's will is that none survive this day.
Alright, Joseph's gone.
Yes.
I think I liked the vibe of the first game more of like, there's aliens and we don't really know that much about them, and it's fine.
So all of this stuff with like the talking aliens in this one, it was added in the expansion. This was not in XCOM 2 base game.
Because like, I don't know, it just made it like, it made them more, if you will, alien.
It made them a sort of like an unknown enemy, you know?
Yeah, or you know, eventually some kind of enemy, perhaps even within. Because they cause some. We look inside ourselves when confronted with things that we don't understand.
Right. You look inside yourself and you find the terror from the deep, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, remember when they made an XCOM game about fish? What if, okay, Kenji Ito's Gyo.
Did Battle Mock shit? Oh, wow.
But it's a turn-based strategy game.
I completely missed that, Jordan. I was watching Steven die.
The tutorial character that I needed to survive died. So like, even though this is an Iron Man game, it's like, no, you got to reload a save because
it's the tutorial mission.
Because
wow,
it's the tutorial mission.
Sorry, we're just
I saw him go down there
attention.
And throw the grenade. I was like, I hope he's fine. I hope there's no problem.
Okay, so I can't move him in there like last time. So what I will do is move them in instead. Because I got to get a line of sight on her, but he had too low a health to be down there.
Because a bunch of other guys just swarmed in, right?
Right.
After she bounces?
Yeah, it just like auto spawns in a bunch of units on top of you, basically. A bunch of zombies that all do 1 damage apiece, but because 2 of them hit him on the same turn and they just got to move automatically. That's the problem with these scripted missions in XCOM, is that just like it just allows units to just show up out of like thin air that were never there before, and then just like get free turns. It's actually one of my biggest problems with another tacticsy game that is not maybe the first thing that comes to mind when people think of tactics, but what do you call it?
Vector Man.
Vector Man. No, what the hell is it called?
Cooking Mama.
Cooking Mama.
Imran, you got one?
I was just thinking about Vector Man still.
Divinity Original Sin 2. That's what I'm thinking of.
Oh, sure. No, that's totally a tactics game, I think.
Yeah.
It's definitely a tactics game, and it's a tactics game where there are a lot of like scripted fights in that game where enemies will just like who don't exist will literally fly in from off screen, and then they get to take turns on the same turn that they spawn. So they can just like spawn in literally 1 square behind one of your units, and then get to take all their normal actions as if it was nothing. And it drives me insane. I hate that shit.
Yeah, Fire Emblem does that a lot too, which is not appreciated when it does. They I think they stopped that in 3 Houses, but yeah, it's a pain in the ass. Like Divinity, my partner and I played that. We played it on like the story mode because we just didn't want to have that hard time with the battles. And like we did every side quest possible that like does not conflict with the other ones. And by the time we finished the second island, we're like, oh, we're gods. Nothing can stop us.
Yeah.
Then we get to the third island. It's like, oh no, this is much harder for no apparent reason.
Fire Emblem 3 Houses has maybe one of the most like completely borked and untested difficulty curves of any game I've ever played. Like that game just wildly fluctuates all the time depending on which difficulty setting you're on, between completely impossible and like so easy it's a joke. It sucks.
Yeah. One of the things I was weird about Nier Replicant is that the difficulty balance is not good at all. You, on a normal playthrough, by the time you get to the second or third ending, probably even by the second, you are destroying everything, which is, I assume, somewhat intentional, because otherwise, like, you are taking too long to fight enemies. But if you do bump the difficulty up, all it does is bump up the damage they do and their health by, like, a lot. So it just becomes way more of a slog than actual fun difficulty.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That is one of my actual problems with Nier. And I bounced off that game a little bit, partially because I think like the quest design.
The new one?
Replicant, yeah. The new old one. I bounced off it a little bit. I still need to get back to it. I do want to get back to it, but part of the reason I bounced off of it was because I actually appreciate a game that like has a lot of friction and like makes you work for stuff. I actually like Death Stranding because of that specifically, because I like the game that is like about friction. And Nier Replicant is really good at that when it's like, go do this fishing mini game, or go run from this village back to the other village and then back again and then do that 3 more times. Like, that stuff I'm okay with. The stuff I hated in doing the side quests in that game is kill this same room full of enemies that you have to leave the entire dungeon and come back, kill them all because they have a 0.5% drop chance on this one rare item that you need 10 of. That stuff.
That's why I kind of appreciate the Nier Automata thing of like, no, Yoko Taro will just sell you the trophies.
Just sell you the trophies.
Like, I think that's actually a really good way to deal with the game that has like RNG for a lot of that stuff. Of like, here, none of this really matters. Just buy the trophies and do whatever.
Like, wasn't there an interview where somebody asked him like, "Hey, why'd you do that?" And his just response was just, "Trophies were a mistake."
Yeah, pretty much. I am surprised Sony let him do that.
Yeah.
They're usually very weirdly precious about that sort of thing.
Got it. Moving.
Part of the publishing agreement, right? Is that like, if you have to have at least one trophy and it has to have XYZ. What's the word I'm thinking of? Limitations on it.
They used to like actually go through the games and like determine how many trophies you could have and whether or not it deserved a platinum. And sometimes they would just, especially for indie games, they'd be like, no, you only get like 4 trophies and you don't get a platinum for it. So they've calmed down on it a bit, but there's at least one person there who clearly still cares about it and clearly is not there every day of the week. Because there are some...
It's the intern.
Yeah, like Toby Fox, I think can get away with a lot of stuff that other developers can't by making his trophies like funny and pointless. But other developers probably can't.
Yeah.
I do remember that era. I remember when trophies first got introduced, and like definitely the like if it's a downloadable game, it doesn't get a platinum. Like it only gets a gold. There would be some games where they would basically have a platinum. They would make their own platinum basically, where it's like if you get all the other trophies in this game, you get a gold.
Yeah.
What a weird thing.
I used to care very much about achievements.
Yeah.
Like the 360 era, it mattered. I think all 35,000 or 40,000 of my achievement points came from that era. Then I remember the exact point where it broke for me was during a Microsoft conference when they were announcing Halo Master Chief Collection. They said something like, and all games will have their own 1,000 point achievements. And I was like, I don't care about that anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know why it just doesn't, but like, I don't care about... I will get a platinum or 1,000 points if they're fun, but adding it up is no longer fun for me.
Yeah, I never, for me, actually, it was one of the reasons I liked trophies more than I liked achievements, is I never cared about the score. I cared about the completionism of getting the platinum.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted. I wanted to, like, look at a game on my list and know I'm done with this. I wanted some kind of, like, badge of honor that said, like, no, I didn't just beat that game. I didn't just finish that game. Like, I'm done with that game forever, and I never have to worry about, like, re-downloading it or whether I keep my save or anything like that. It was, like, a free pass to be able to delete the game off of my hard drive.
Like, when I look at a lot of my favorite games for the last, like, 2 generations, most of them I didn't, like, platinum or whatever. I played them and I was like, all right. Because, like, the problem is, when I platinum a game, I realize all of the ways it's terrible.
Sure. Because it makes you really press up against the edges because you have to do so much stuff.
Yeah, like, Sekiro, I really love that game. I platinumed it. But the last 4 hours of that platinum they're so terrible. Because, like, you were just grinding the same path over and over to get all the points for skills.
Which game was this, sorry?
Sekiro.
Sekiro, yeah.
Yeah.
I need to go back to that. I feel like I got it when it came out and just had a real bad experience with it, and felt like I was in like a Twilight Zone episode or something, because like everybody was so high on that game, and nobody was talking about the things that I felt were like really obvious flaws with it. And so I don't know. I want to go back and give it another shot because there's obviously something there. But
I do feel like even Soulsy people kind of like don't talk about that game with quite as much reference as like other From Software games in retrospect, but I loved that fucking game. I love Sekiro so much.
And like I want to get why people love it.
One of the reasons I like about it, like one of the things I like about it, I should say, is I really like it when a media property engages with what the media property means outside of itself. It's one of the reasons I like The Last Jedi so much, is because like that is a thing that is like trying to wrangle with like what Star Wars has said and done and what it means to people, and how people exist in the Star Wars universe. And Sekiro is a game where it's like all the other From Software games are, here's this weird world in decline, that has been dead for like several years, and you're picking over its bones to kill its like last remaining king or whatever, and like see what can come next after the apocalypse has happened. And Sekiro is a game where you are watching the apocalypse happen from the perspective of somebody who lives in that world.
Yeah, like thematically, it's really cool. Like that's the stuff that I did really enjoy with the time that I spent with it, was having a From game that felt like it had real characters in it.
Yeah.
Not, I mean that's unfair to the Souls games, but you know what I mean.
But it's more it's easier to digest, you know.
Yeah, like that stuff that felt cool. I think I just had problems with how linear that game is, and a lot of the encounter design, at least within the. I don't even remember how many hours I spent with it, but like the first 9 hours or so.
So that is the thing about that game too.
Let's ask Team how long I played this game for.
That is the thing about Sekiro, is that Sekiro opens up, but it's like if that game is 3 acts, you need to get past Act 1 before it'll open up, because it's basically a skill check on the rest of the game, saying like, okay, you're ready to get to the part where it opens up.
Right. Okay, I played Sekiro for 8.8 hours.
Okay.
It's a decent chunk of that game, I'd say, but obviously it depends on like how much you died and things like that.
Yeah, I got up to the boss where I stopped playing the game is the boss that's the big man on the horse.
Oh, sure, okay.
After the big snake.
Odiwa?
Probably. I know
you know what I'm talking about.
The Battlefield guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. I have seen that complaint about from
screams
people.
his name when you fight him. That's the only reason I kind of vaguely remember what he is.
But yeah. But that's the thing. I have seen people say this about From Software games this generation, is that they feel like they are trying to encourage you one way to play, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like Bloodborne, you can spec whatever way you want, but you're going to still have the same speed of dodging because you have to, and that's how the game is balanced.
Yeah.
So I know some people were like, they don't like that game as much as Dark Souls because you can't be that different character. If you want to be a slow character that tanks hits, you cannot do that in Bloodborne.
No, yeah, it's not that game.
And like Sekiro is very similar. Of like, you have to learn the rhythm and the cadence, or you're not going to enjoy it, or you're not going to like. You can't be different from the way it wants you to play.
Yeah, it's a game about parrying, and
oh my fucking god.
It has to. Did you just miss all of those Overwatch?
Yeah, and I also misclicked.
Oh god damn it!
I misclicked on Preytel and made him like waste a turn, like moving 2 squares closer to the enemies that I wanted him to move away from. I just like my hand slipped.
My controller's broken. I was asleep. That was my roommate playing. My little brother deleted it.
There's absolutely no reason for me to have moved him 2 squares over to that right there. So like, I feel comfortable saying like, no, that was absolutely not intentional.
Yeah.
I go where I am needed.
Anyway, but because it's Iron Man, it saves after every move, so it's like not a huge deal.
That's nice at least. And yeah, like the focus on parrying doesn't bother me so much. Like I think that at 8.8 hours, and this may be radically different afterwards, so take this opinion with a grain of salt, but up until that point, the structure of the game is here is an environment, you have to get from point A to point B. Past these guys, there is a large man at the end of it, and then it resets.
Yeah.
And then you move into the next room, essentially, that is point A to point B. There's a large man at the end of it.
In Sekiro?
And then, and then every now and then you'll get like a weird theme park ride that's the big snake or whatever.
So I think it's literally the next boss after that horse guy.
Yeah.
Who's the skill check that like where the game branches out.
Okay, because that's where I stopped. Because like that was not like once I figured out that that's the pattern, that was not enjoyable for me anymore.
Yeah,
because I was not having a great time moving through those like those stealth encounter zones, and what like got to the point where it's like, all right, well if this is how this game is structured, then I don't know if this is the game for me.
It is still a much more linear action game than the Souls games, but it is.
Sure.
It opens up a bit more after that.
Totally.
Yeah, and it's not the linearity that bothers me so much. It's just that like every single beat in that progression is you are in a self-contained zone. There's a locked door at the end of it. You have to get from the left side of this map to the right side, in effect.
Yeah.
And either fight all these guys or avoid them, and then fight the big guy and open the door. and it's just that like 15 times.
Well, the other thing that starts to change right after that boss fight that comes out.
Hey, you did it.
Yeah. The other thing that starts to change about that horse guy fight is that the world starts to the nature of the world of Sekiro begins to start changing there, because it's like when it's the horse guy and the big flaming bull and all of that stuff, it's like, oh, this is like normal people. Like these are just guys on horseback. These are guys with swords. This is they tied a burning bush to a bull's head. But then like the story of that game, because it is a world that is like starting to descend into like apocalypse and myth, the world starts to warp around you, and the rules of what reality is in Sekiro start to warp around you, so things start to get more magical and fucked up and strange.
That's cool.
So in addition to the world opening up a little bit more, you also start the variety of enemies and the way that you need to start dealing with them start to change a lot. There's that. I know people really hate that village, but there's that village, Imran, at the bottom of that basin. If you know what I'm talking about.
The one that's weirdly RE4 like.
Yeah.
Yes.
Commander, having these two soldiers continue to work together.
I like in that game where it's like the early part of the game is mostly like samurai and different forms of samurai. And at some point they introduce basically like ninjas. It's like this is the assassination squad, and like they are weirdly fun to fight because they do not fight you on your terms.
No, they're dodging you the way that you dodge like a Black Knight, in Dark Souls.
Yeah.
And they're just like, no, fuck you, I'm gonna hang back and throw smoke bombs at you and break your guard and get a stab in and then back off again.
Our captive soldier if we deploy on a covert action alongside them.
Thank you for sending.
Also, thank you, Imran, for posting the NakedScientist.com articles /question/ what would happen if you covered swimmer hydrophobic substance.
Yes. We now have an answer because someone has asked us before.
What's the answer? Would they just sink?
They'd be faster.
Oh, cool. I've been correct the whole time.
Wow. Yes.
I'm a physics genius. What am I doing? I'm wasting myself at this website. I should be doing Olympic studies and helping Michael Phelps get better times.
Well, as a final thing, if people are ready to start filtering out, because we have been going for quite a while, do we want to pick some abilities for people?
Sure. Yeah. Let's upgrade our folks and then call it a night.
So for Elena Dragonova, what we have is remote start. Whoop. What did I do? Okay. We have remote start, which detonate an environmental explosive causing it to deal double damage within twice its normal radius, does not reveal the Reaper.
We've had our suspicions, but before now,
don't reveal the Reaper. Shots deal +1 damage if the target has been wounded this turn, and provides an additional utility slot provided the soldier's armor does not already provide one. Is what we got for her.
What was the second one?
Shots deal +1 damage if the target has already been wounded this turn.
How often is stuff in the environment explodable?
Well, so one interesting thing about her is that she can throw out a claymore mine that she can then shoot. So she can create her
own that counts?
explodable. Yeah, I believe it does.
Oh, okay. And it's twice damage and radius?
Yes. And it does not
twice
reveal
damage with
stealth.
Twice damage within its normal radius.
Oh, within twice its normal radius, actually.
Oh, double damage within twice its normal radius. Okay, cool. Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
That sounds really, really good. That sounds like a really good opening move in basically any fight, because she only gets one claymore, but a claymore that does double damage in a huge radius seems pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, and
I don't know. I like the claymore one. Personally.
Well, that's what we got. For the sniper, we can go with the allow Overwatch to trigger within squad sight, or we've got return fire when targeted by enemy fire, automatically fire back with your pistol once per turn.
I think squad sight is a lot more useful than the pistol fire. Because what's your pistol going to do? That's not very helpful.
Imran?
I agree. Pistols are really only useful with the zombie levels.
Okay. Go. I didn't even think about that we could have been using like the unlimited ammo pistols on those guys. So for Borderlands here, we've got to change the name of at some point, or who knows, we'll see. Your gear includes layers of extra padding and blast plates, granting a bonus point of armor and 66% less damage from explosive attacks, or your cannon attacks shred armor.
I'd say the blast padding. Anything that you can do in this game to make your guys less killable is
Yes.
worth doing.
Yes, I agree.
Okay. For Dylan, we get Phantom or Blade Master. When the squad is revealed, this soldier remains concealed, or all sword attacks deal +2 damage and have extra 10 aim.
I think if you're gonna make him especially like a sword guy, Blade Master is better.
This is going to be our sword guy.
I mean, every squad needs one sword guy, right?
Yeah. I think Dylan would be a good sword guy. I believe in him.
Oh yeah, Dylan is technically proficient. You need a lot of technical proficiency with your swords and stuff like that.
Dylan has the hair to be our sword guy too.
Ooh, that's true.
Yeah, you need like if you're going to be the sword guy and pull it off, you need nice hair.
And then since we already have somebody with blast plating, let's just put Shredder on Chewbacca
Sure.
to mix it up. Cool.
Sure, it's okay if they die because they're the most ridiculous person here.
Who cares?
They're punished guile.
Yeah.
Jesus. I honestly could just keep.
No,
playing
that's
this
Charlie.
Oh no, poor Charlie.
Poor Charlie.
Poor Frankenstein little guy. Honestly, I could keep playing this game all night with y'all because I have so much fun just chatting the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's a good time.
People got to stop at some point. So
I definitely feel better than when I got here.
good.
Yeah.
Glad to hear it. I hope all of you watching at home also had a good time and are feeling better than when you got here. Be sure to tune in on Saturday because we're going to have a whole bunch of streaming going on to benefit Palestinian aid groups.
10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Pacific
time specifically, but so it'll be a 12-hour stream. I think the URL is fundbyte.stream. Is that correct?
I don't think it's up yet.
It's not up yet, but it will be.
You can just come to twitchtv.fanbyte though,
You can
right?
just come to hang out with us there.
No, we made a totally new separate thing that nobody follows yet just for this.
I just mean for the donations. That's where they'll
Oh yeah. And you're not gonna have to, my understanding is that you're not gonna have to like send us a screenshot of a donation or any of that stuff. Like it's I believe that Ren and Nikki got it set up so that you'll be able to just donate through Tiltify like normal.
Tiltify got a thing opened up earlier today. I was on the call with them when it happened. So
great.
Shouts out to Ren and Nikki who have been doing just a fucking
they've been working all week on this.
Yeah, with very short notice on something that is going to take a while with a bunch of guests. We're going to have a bunch of guests from different places that are signed up so far to hanging out with us, and it's going to be a good time. For a good
just had
cause.
two people say yes today. Two cool people, so.
Yeah, totally. We're all going to be there in various forms, or at least most of us will be, from Fanbyte.
Bernie Sanders, wow.
Bernie Sanders is going to be playing Among Us. It's going to be great. Yeah, I don't know what we're doing for the stream tomorrow because Merritt is out on the International Space Station for about a week.
Yeah, she's taking an extended trip up there.
Yeah.
So best of luck.
We'll figure something out.
It shouldn't be too hard. We're smart. In the meantime, I'll talk to y'all later. Thanks for hanging out. Gonna end the stream now. And,
wait. We gotta raid somebody.
Oh, who do we raid?
Do you want to raid? All right. We can raid my friend Selena, who I mentioned earlier.
Okay.
She's super sweet. She's in just chatting right now. Or we can raid Tiny, who is building a prototype keyboard.
Oh, the keyboard sounds pretty good.
Okay, let me get past the ad on her channel to make sure that this is a good idea.
Commander?
This ad is going on for a while.
Oh,
for Adobe Photoshop, who definitely needs to convince you to use their product.
What I missed the most is
and is not just.
I hadn't thought about that.
I mean, you would
she-
never hear of Photoshop otherwise.
No.
Yeah. She seems pretty far along in this process.
Okay.
The switches are already in the board.
So do we want to try your other friend?
Yeah, let's go to Selena's channel. Selena is in just chatting right now. She's playing It Takes Two in a little bit with another streamer. Yeah. All right, so that's I don't think I can do it. It's /raid.
I just need to know how do you spell the name.
HICELINA.
HICE.
Lina. There we go.
Perfect.
Cool.
Talk to y'all later, everybody.
Yep. Thanks, y'all. Bye.
Bye.
Tenacity could prove your undoing, Commander. If you